Live from News Park in Starkville, this is Mississippi State Softball. Mississippi State Softball is sponsored by C-Spire, customer inspired. First pitch is just moments away. Now let's go live to the broadcast booth for Mississippi State Softball.
Good afternoon and welcome into the Bulldog Student Sports Network live here from News Park in beautiful Starkville, Mississippi on the great campus of Mississippi State University for an afternoon of softball between your Bulldogs of Mississippi State and the Arkansas Razorbacks. I'm Ty Goldman alongside Connor Davis here with the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. And today, another ranked matchup for your Mississippi State Bulldogs, a top 15 matchup here in Starkville. Mississippi State coming in at number 13 in the country, 33-9 overall, and 5-7 in Southeastern Conference play. Bulldogs with one lone SEC Series win so far through 4 tries, looking for their second this weekend. Arkansas coming in at number 8 in the country. The Razorbacks 33-5 and 8-4 in conference play. 3 SEC Series wins this season in 4 tries. SEC Series wins over Georgia, Florida, and Auburn, and a loss, their lone series loss to Alabama. Bulldogs looking for back-to-back home series wins in conference play after winning 2 weeks ago over South Carolina. And again, Arkansas has been hot. They've won 2 straight SEC series and won 9 out of their last 10 ball games. Let's look at the series history between these two ball clubs. Mississippi State leads the all-time series 40 games to 36. Bulldogs won in the last series between these two in Fayetteville in 2024. Bulldogs won that one 2-3. And with that series win, Mississippi State snapped a 9-game losing streak to Arkansas and won its first series over the Hogs since 2017. Connor, Bulldogs coming off a tough series loss to Florida, but showed a lot of fight in games 2 and 3 after a stinging loss in game 1. You had that no-hitter from Peja Gould up until the 6th inning with that Florida 2-run home run, and Bulldogs couldn't answer in the 7th. A stinging loss there, but a lot of fight shown in games 2 and 3, and that's what Mississippi State has done all year in SEC play.
Yeah, let me take you through that series real quick, Ty. So you lose a series 2-1 in Gainesville. First game, 2-0, you lost, but 5 hits compared to Florida's 1. You got to really figure out, you're putting people in scoring position. You got 5 hits. How does Florida score 2 runs with 1 hit? You got to figure out how to make that mathematically sound for these next couple games against Arkansas, and hopefully with the win today, your second game, you went on and won 9-5, 14 hits in the season. And we'll get on to how Coach Ricketts feels about that. Highest in a game all season. And then you had 9 runs that game, highest in a conference game. And you looked great that second game. Your fielding percentage kind of dips that game. And then you go to the third game. Florida wins 5-4. You get 4 hits that game compared to Florida 6. 2 errors that game. Your fielding percentage was .920 that game. It just kept dipping down. So you kind of had defensive struggles game to game against Florida. Florida played perfect defensively that game, Ty, and I feel like it might have been a little bit of intimidation factor for Mississippi State. So you got to figure out how you're going to scheme up against these defenses offensively, how you're going to be able to get balls where you need them to go into the outfield, maybe some ground hits a couple times, get people on base. You got 5 hits in game 1. You weren't able to score. We have to figure out how to get that going this series against Arkansas because it's a tough one, Ty. Number 8 ranked Razorbacks are in Starkville, Mississippi.
Yeah, the Gators are a really tough team to beat in Gainesville. I mean, obviously beat that illustrious Tennessee squad earlier in the season in Gainesville 2-3. But the Bulldogs continue to show fight like we mentioned there. You saw that in Game 3. State took it down to the wire. It took to the final out for Florida to win that ball game literally on the final out. A play at the plate is how Florida won that ball game. And so, Bulldogs added a sac fly run in the 7th and tied the ball game up, and so State continued to battle in that ball game, and in that series it just wasn't enough. But Bulldogs have been battling all season. It's something Coach Ricketts has talked about. But who's been battling? It's been that pitching staff for Mississippi State. They've been the key, but the success in terms of each and every pitcher has kind of fluctuated. Peja Gould, has been the hot hand as of late. She started a little cold at the beginning of SEC play. At the beginning of SEC play for State, it was Faircloth, who was really hot, but she's tapered off just a little bit. Obviously got a Game 2 win last ball game, but has been giving up a lot of runs in these last couple of outings. And Layla Amon has struggled a little bit, but it's big that State is sharp in this ball game. Collectively, one of the best pitching staffs in the nation going up against a really strong Arkansas offense.
Teams don't really hit on Mississippi State's pitching staff this year, and they've been really, really premier. You're second in the country right behind Tennessee in hits allowed per 7 innings with 3.89. There's not a lot of teams that hit against Mississippi State. The thing about Mississippi State is they've been able to make those hits count and run when they are needed, and that's what Mississippi State needs to capitalize on. How can we make our hits count for the runs that we need to be able to win these games, and especially in big series like today?
Yeah, going to be a big one. Arkansas, like we mentioned, recently swept Auburn. Didn't allow a single earned run in that entire series. First time they've done that in a 3-game series since 2000. They, a real solid pitching staff. They returned 99.7% of their innings pitched from last year, including all wins, all saves, all strikeouts. And it's going to be interesting to see the dynamic between Mississippi State's offense and that Arkansas pitching staff that's got a lot of momentum involved with it. We'll get into a little bit more of that in the starting lineups after the national anthem here at News Park. Beautiful day on the campus of Mississippi State University and a great afternoon for SEC softball. Number 13 Mississippi State and number 8 Arkansas just about set to do battle. 5 o'clock first pitch here in Starkville. I'm Ty Goldman alongside Connor Davis, and this is the Bulldog Student Sports Network pregame show and Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Okay, we're back for Game 1 for Arkansas. Really tough series today, it might be. High-ranked Arkansas coming in Starkville, Mississippi. We kind of talk about going through these conference series. We're looking for that elusive Game 1 in a conference, and you've been really great in those Game 2s, coming out strong, showing people like, hey, this is Mississippi State softball. How nice would it be to get this Game 1 over with and kind of set the momentum for the rest of the series and maybe rest of conference play?
Yeah, we reassessed after the Florida series. We're halfway through SEC play right now. What have we learned? What have we done well? What can we do better? And a big consensus from the team was going into win Friday night. And I think just more so bringing the same energy and attack and focus we do when we're answering back and just bringing that in Game 1. So I think that's the way we're really looking at it, taking it one game at a time and knowing that we've got to bring it every single day, especially against a team like Arkansas.
So you've noted that you've been really proud about battling throughout these conference series. You did that against Florida. Florida, although not making barely any mistakes at all that series, you came out Game 2, 14 hits, season high, by the way, 9 runs that game, also a season high, both in conference play. How do you kind of take this Arkansas team, who's a really good heavy-hitting team, and say, hey, we want to beat them on their own medicine?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, everybody we play is a top 20 team, and it's just knowing that we have to treat every weekend like it's a super regional. That's the goal when we get to postseason here in the next month or so. So it's taking it as serious as we would when we get into May and June. And just, I think right now it's going out, trying to play Mississippi State softball, staying on the attack, knowing they're going to score some runs. That's what they do really well, and that we have to be ready to respond just like we learned a little bit about ourselves last week doing so.
Talking about Arkansas, premier offense versus a premier pitching staff in Mississippi State. They are a really good hitting team, as I talked about earlier. How do you limit those hits against Arkansas with such a good pitching staff that you've been able to get?
I mean, I think it's them just trusting their stuff and knowing that if they get on base, so what, and coming right back and not letting one become two, and just kind of limiting the big innings is always going to be our biggest thing. But I think, we have a lot of trust in our pitching staff and our defense, and just finding ways to control the momentum, control the energy. Even if they score, they get some hits, so what, we know we can answer back. Momentum
is a big thing going into this. You kind of, on these conference series, haven't been known to score super early. A lot of those runs come in later innings. How do you come out here and say, hey, we're going to score early, we're going to get this momentum, and really set the tone like we talked about earlier, kind of just say, hey, this is Mississippi State, we've come to play?
Yeah, I think the message has been, we've gone over the scouting reports, we've watched film, we've practiced off our machines and our pitchers to give us an idea of what we're going to see tonight against their number one pitcher, and just really making the adjustment before you go in the box your first at bat and not waiting until we're one time through the order and having to kind of all make the same mistake. So I think that's the big focus, to try and come out and attack early and really make sure that we're giving ourselves 7 innings to compete and battle and make adjustments to her pitches that she's going to come at us with.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
That was Connor Davis with your Bulldog head coach Samantha Ricketts, a pregame interview with her. We're just about set for first pitch here in Starkville. We're going to take a short break and be back in just a moment for lineups and first pitch here at News Park. I'm Ty Goldman alongside Connor Davis, and you're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Trey Willis, shortstop.
Marshall Jones, first baseman.
Alex Philbin, center fielder.
Hi, I'm Tim from C Spire. Am I in the right place?
It always pays to have the right players on your team. That's why C Spire gives you fiber-fast home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and best-in-class business solutions, all backed by local 24/7 support. C Spire, customer inspired.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Jake Mangum here. When I'm at the plate, I'm always looking for an edge. So when I'm shopping for auto insurance, I'm always looking to save. That's why I'm going with Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance to keep me covered. They're always finding ways to save you money, like a 7% discount when you sign up for paperless billing and documents. Go to msfbins.com and discover how much you can save on auto insurance, or find a local agent and get started today. Go with the home team. Go with Farm Bureau Insurance.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network here on Learfield. I'm Ty Goldman alongside Connor Davis. Just moments away from first pitch here in Starkville between number 13 Mississippi State and number 8 Arkansas. Another top 25 SEC series here in Starkville. We'll give you the starting lineups for this ball game here in Game 1 between these two SEC ball clubs. I'll start off with Arkansas, and Connor will give you Mississippi State's. For the Razorbacks, leading off and playing in center field, going to be the senior with a .368 average in Reagan Johnson. Batting second, and the designated player, the freshman sensation with a .412 average, Brinley Bain. Batting in the 3 spot and over at the hot corner at third base, going to be the sophomore Ella McDowell with a .365 batting average on the year. Batting in the cleanup spot and in left field, the senior Dakota Kennedy with a .353 batting average on the season. Batting in the 5 spot over at first base, the senior Tiana Bell with a .405 average this season. Batting in the 6th spot in the order, and over at shortstop, going to be the senior Italia Rio, .386 average for the Razorback shortstop this season. Batting 7th and over in right field, going to be the senior Kaylee Wyckoff, and she's got a .394 average on this season. Batting in the 8th spot and behind the plate in today's ball game for the Hogs, going to be the junior Kennedy Miller with a .340 batting average coming into this ball game. And rounding out the order, going to be over at second base, the senior Carly Davison with a .368 batting average. Starting pitcher going to be the lefty with a .152 ERA, the senior in Robin Heron, who is the reigning SEC pitcher of the week. Get you more info on her when Mississippi State comes to bat in the bottom half of the first inning. Connor, let's hear Mississippi State's starting lineup for today's ball game.
All right, starting off for Mississippi State, somebody that you've known a couple times in these conference series. Kiara Sells, the senior right fielder, who's going to start off 409 batting average. At the second spot, it's going to be Morgan Stiles at shortstop. She's the sophomore with the 349 batting average. Designated player at the 3 spot for Mississippi State. It'll be Anna Carter, senior with the 270 batting average. And at the 4 spot, it's going to be Paige Ernst. Really found her own in this conference play. The first baseman, sophomore with a 173 batting average. At the 5th spot, Nadia Barbary, the third baseman. This is senior with a 349 batting average. At the 6th, Morgan Bernardini, left fielder, senior with a 276 batting average. At your 6th spot, 7th spot, I can't count today, Ty. Des Rivera is going to be your catcher, the senior for Mississippi State, 271 batting average. Your center fielder is going to be your 8th spot for Mississippi State, Kinley Keller. It's the freshman sensation for Mississippi State. That's going to be 340 batting average. And then the second baseman is going to round it off, Zion Romero, sophomore, with a 149 batting average for Mississippi State. Your pitcher today, you can't go wrong with any of them, Ty, but who better than Peja Gould to start off, the senior, of course, for Mississippi State, who's been really good in these conference plays.
Peja Gould, per Softball America, the number 6 pitcher in all of college softball in the month of April. Senior righty out of Stockton, California to UT Chattanooga transfer. 1.42 ERA this season, 13-6 record. And this will be her 27th appearance and 18th start. 10 complete games so far, 108.2 innings pitched. Or 108.2 innings pitched in 2/3. That would be 53 hits, 29 runs, 22 of them earned, 27 walks, 140 strikeouts, opponents with a 140 batting average against her. And so she's going to get the start for Mississippi State. Your umpires today's ball game behind home plate going to be Ronald White. Over at first is Anthony Small, and manning second and third base going to be Anthony Williams. Head coach for the Arkansas Razorbacks, Courtney Deifel, in her 11th year at Arkansas, a 392 and 184 record overall in Fayetteville. And your head coach for the Bulldogs, Samantha Ricketts, 231 and 128 record in her 7th career season, and all of those being at Mississippi State. About ready to play some softball here in Starkville. Mississippi State in all maroon with white piping, or white script state across the front, and white numerals. Arkansas in white with the red sleeves there, and red Arkansas across the front, red piping on the pants, and red visors. Just about set for first pitch on a beautiful day here in Starkville. And the first pitch, a strike at 5:02 p.m. Central Time here at Mississippi State University. Glad to have you with us. Again, I'm Ty Goldman alongside Connor Davis as a leadoff hitter, and Reagan Johnson skies this one towards foul territory, and over to make the grab is Morgan Bernardini for out number 1.
Perfect, Ty. Everybody's wearing maroon, but we didn't get to mention it today. Big in script state out there is a teal coloring. Why is that out there, Ty? Can you tell me about
it's Alex Wilcox Memorial Weekend, or you're trying to raise awareness for ovarian cancer. All the SEC squads will be wearing some teal tomorrow. You'll see Mississippi State and Arkansas wearing that as well. And the teal script state out in center field, and definitely Alex Wilcox, a big part of this program, and just a great thing to raise awareness for. Brinley Bain going to step in. First pitch to her, a strike. And this one down the left field line and fair. She's going to round first, a turn towards second to throw wide from Bernardini, and a 1-out double for the Razorbacks here. Brinley Bain, the freshman who's been fantastic this season, with a double for the Hogs.
Really good for Arkansas. What I wonder, though, Ty, is we wear maroon so much. You think they got any teal for us to wear up here in this press box?
I know I don't have any teal, so I might have to get
it
into
might be a
some of
new
that.
look for us. We might look a little bit more dapper than we usually do with teal. Maroon. I'm not getting tired of maroon, but
Ella McDowell now going to stand in. A breaking ball there from Gould in there for a called strike 1. McDowell, preseason second-team All-American, sophomore out of Richmond, Texas. It's a freshman All-American last year. This one in the dirt. And Bain over there at second base. A little big secondary lead over there, but not enough to draw a throw from Des Rivera behind the plate for State. Rivera's thrown out a bunch of batters this year, or a bunch of runners, for opposing teams this year, as this one misses. Now the count 2-1 on McDowell. McDowell has been hot in SEC play, started every one of the 12 games so far, a .351 batting average. This one off the glove of Barbary down in foul territory beside third base, and so the count will go now to 2-2. That one just off the tip of the glove there, Connor.
I didn't get to mention it earlier, but we talk about Brinley Bain being such a good pick for Arkansas as a freshman. She leads all D1 freshmen with a .555 OBP, Ty, and she's on base right now as we speak.
Yeah, it's been pretty impressive. Gould looking for a first strikeout, and there's a swing and a miss, strike out, and strike number 3, 2 gone in the bottom or top half of the first inning, with a runner at second base, and Gould able to fan her first batter of the ball game.
Now we have Dakota Kennedy coming up for Arkansas.
Kennedy, a highly coveted transfer out of Arizona, spent 3 years there. 3-time first-team all-conference for the Wildcats. First pitch to her, a strike. But this year, this year a .353 batting average. Just you see that entire Arkansas order with averages above 300. Grounder over to short. Stiles up with it. Throw over to first in time for out number 3. Nice play over there from Stiles. Kind of threw that from the back foot. Able to make the play. Bulldogs do surrender a hit. It's no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base in the top half of the first inning. And we are scoreless through a half inning as we head to the bottom half of the first. Bulldogs will grab the sticks and go swing, but Peja Gould able to get past the 1-out double and make her way out of the inning.
If you ever wondered why Morgan Stiles is playing shortstop for Mississippi State, that's why, Ty. Even off a back foot, she has a strong enough arm to get it to first and get the 3rd out of the inning so Mississippi State can come in here, make some magic happen. But what we talk about with Coach Ricketts in the interview and what we really talked about at pregame is we got to get this momentum going early, especially in a big top-ranked matchup against Arkansas. You got to learn to get on base. You got to try to get on base, and try to get to home plate. You get those runs in, you get those hits in, and you could fare pretty nicely against the Razorbacks today. But this pitching staff is going to be something to deal with.
Yeah, and we're going to have to deal with Robin Heron today, who's getting the start, reigning SEC Pitcher of the Week after that fantastic week against Auburn. It came in and appeared in Game 1, got the start and the win, a complete game shutout, and that one had 8 strikeouts. Also came in relief in Game 3, got a save, didn't allow a run, struck out 2 as well. Only 2 earned runs in her last 7 appearances. Has been really impressive so far. Her statistics on the season. Look at it, a 1.52 ERA in her senior year, 11-2 record. This will be her 18th appearance, 12th game started. 5 complete games on the year, 64 2/3 innings pitched, 36 hits, 21 runs, 14 of them earned, 25 walks, and 108 strikeouts. So she has been, incredibly impressive. Has earned second-team All-America honors, All-SEC honors in her career. Currently first in program history, too, in the opponent batting average category. Only a career 178 opponent batting average. So it's going to be a tough test for Mississippi State today as Kiara Sells stands in the right-handed batter's box. First pitch in there for a called strike 1. But, yeah, she has been solid this season. That ERA, 14th best in the nation, 7th in the Southeastern Conference at 1.52. And, of course, the best ERA on this Razorback pitching staff. 0-1 to Sells. Catches the outer half. The count quickly now 0-2.
Well, hopefully I don't jinx you here. You've been glazing Arkansas real quick, but let me glaze Sells. Since moving to this leadoff spot, Ty, she hits a .474 batting average with a 1.512 OPS and a 60% base safety.
This one, chopper over to third. McDowell up with it. Easy throw over to first for out number 1. So 1 up, 1 down. Sells retired on a 5-3 putout, and that'll bring up Morgan Stiles for Mississippi State. The Bulldogs have shaken around the order a little bit. You got Carter in that 3 spot. The main 2 at the top, Sells and Stiles, Carter in that 3 spot. Ernstis has been hitting in that 4 spot. Barbary in the 5 spot. So the Bulldogs kind of shaking around this order a little bit. And the first pitch to Styles and a miss for ball 1. Styles on the season, a .349 batting average, second best batting average on this ball club. A .289 batting average so far in SEC play, and the count quickly in her favor, 2-0.
I don't think Ricketts is changing this batting order because of lack of hits. I think it's lack of runs. She's trying to figure out who can hit her runners in, and maybe that's why we see this batting order that way.
This one, no doubt about it, right down Broadway for strike 1. Styles coming off a 3-for-10 weekend in Gainesville. Had a double, scored 2 runs as well. Has reached in all but 3 SEC ball games that State has played so far. She sends a soft fly ball in the right field and able to make the grab as Wyckoff for out number 2. So the Bulldogs have been retired in order here to start the bottom half of the first inning, and Anna Carter looks to keep the inning alive for Mississippi State as she steps into the left-handed batter's box.
The senior transfer from Athens, Alabama, not Georgia, Ty.
Southern Illinois.
Southern
transfer.
Illinois. I know we talked about Eastern Illinois, that one broadcast. I don't know too much about the southern part of that state.
Yeah, she fouls the first one back. Southern Illinois, Carbondale, Illinois is where they're from. But fouls the first one back. She's, been solid in SEC play for Mississippi State. One of the state's better hitters, a .294 batting average. She's played 8 games so far in SEC play, now in her 9th for Mississippi State in conference play. And this one misses out a count 1-1, but has been solid, like I said, for Mississippi State. Went 3-for-10 last weekend, starting in every single ball game against Florida. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a line drive into left field, and that will get down for a 2-out single. And Carter's hot hitting in SEC play continues. The Bulldogs have life with 2 outs in the bottom of the first.
I was just about to get out of my mouth. She has made every single moment like it's the last for her bats, and she's been so great at that, at taking every opportunity and not having it for granted. A nice little outfield hit right there to get her on base. Hey, we're keeping this inning alive.
Paige Ernstis now going to step in for State. Just off of the first pitch there, fouls that one back to the netting for strike 1. Ernstis coming in with an average at 173, but I wouldn't let that fool you. She's been hot over the last 2 series. 2 for 8 last weekend and starting every single ball game in Gainesville. Drove in five runners in game 2 against the Gators. And they'll appeal down to first base as they thought Ernstis went around. She did not, so the count will even up at 1 ball and 1 strike. But had a really solid weekend driving in a lot of Mississippi State's runs that weekend, especially in game 2. And so it's kind of come on for Mississippi State.
Yeah, Ty, that game 2 marked the highest single-game RBI total by a Bulldog this year. So really impressive by her as a sophomore to be able to do that.
1-1 catches the zone. Now the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bulldogs with a 2-out base runner aboard. Ernstis with a 1-2 count on her. Heron trying to get out of the inning. This one misses high and outside. And the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes with deuces on the board. 2 outs as well here in the bottom half of the first inning. Hogs would have Bell, Rio, and Wyckoff, 5, 6, 7, due up in the top half of the second.
Make some magic happen here.
2-2 to Ernstis. Excuse me, swing. It's going to be trouble for the second baseman, Davison, but she had her eyes on it the entire way, and that will end the bottom half of the first and in the first inning here in Starkville. Bulldogs able to get a 2-out base hit from Anna Carter, but nothing more. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base for the Bulldogs as we head to the top half of the second inning, early in this ball game, not late. Top half of the second inning we go, and Mississippi State and Arkansas tied at 0. We're going to take a short break, be back in just a moment. I'm Ty Goldman alongside Connor Davis. This is Mississippi State softball for the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield.
Trey Willis, shortstop.
Marshall Jones, first baseman.
Alex Philbin, center fielder.
Hi, I'm Tim from C Spire. Am I in the right place?
It always pays to have the right players on your team. That's why C Spire gives you fiber-fast home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and best-in-class business solutions, all backed by local 24/7 support. C Spire, customer inspired.
Hi, I'm Jake Mangum. Life is about making the most of your at-bats. So if you struck out looking for auto insurance, give Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance a shot. Farm Bureau Insurance is offering huge discounts on their auto rates. In fact, over the last 12 months, Farm Bureau Insurance has taken 3 rate reductions. Talk about coming through in the clutch. So if you were with us before, you're new to Farm Bureau, it's time to come home. Visit msfbins.com to find great new rates on auto insurance. And go with the home team.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Student Sports Network, and on Learfield, I'm Ty Goldman alongside Connor Davis. We head to the second inning here in Starkville, Mississippi State, and Arkansas tied at 0. Bulldogs and Razorbacks in the top 15 matchup here in Starkville. 1 hit apiece for both teams in the first inning, but no runs scored. Both teams left a runner aboard, and so pitching has been able to, get by runners getting on base late and in the middle of innings.
You talked about, kind of glazed Arkansas's pitching a lot. State leads the nation with 379 strikeouts and leads the conference for fewest walks allowed. Ty, only 4 teams in the country have reached 300 strikeouts all year. So good on Mississippi State for being able to do that.
Tiana Bell going to stand in. First pitch to her. Misses high for ball 1. Senior first baseman with an average 5 points over 400 at 405. And there's strike 1 to her called. Count now 1-1. Bell, 47 hits coming into this ball game. That's the most on this Arkansas Razorback ball club. Most RBIs as well with 44. She sends a soft liner over to second. Romero up with it. Easy throw over the first for out number 1. So 3 pitches and 1 out. And 1 gone here in the away half of the second for Arkansas.
That throw is like clockwork, Ty. I mean, it should hit every time. You get a nice little ground on the ground. Well, I guess I could say that, and then hit it to first real nice and easy, and that's just what happened.
Standing in now going to be Atalia Rio. Foul ball back to the netting for strike 1. Rio, senior infielder out of Horsehead, New York. Yeah, had her best year of her career last year. Had an injury sophomore season. Had .318 batting average last year. Recorded 50 hits, 38 RBIs. This year's been solid too. .386 batting average coming into this one. This one misses off the outer half, and the count evens at 1-1. She's also too on an 11-game reach base streak that extends and started back on March 17th. And so has been hot as of late in terms of being able to get on base. She sends one high into the air in the shallow right. Romero going to call off everybody and make the play for out number 2. Connor, that can be a tough play with where the sun sits. It's setting over towards the third base side, and can always be a tough play, but Romero was on that one all day for out number 2.
That's exactly what I was thinking, Ty. I was hoping that Arkansas would get beat by that sun on that pop fly that we had earlier in the game, but now Romero calls everybody out. 2 outs for herself.
Kaylee Wyckoff will stand in. First pitch to her misses away for ball 1. Wyckoff, .394 average in that 7 spot in the order.
It's a senior transfer from Texas Tech.
This one misses outside.
Maybe wanted a change of scenery.
Yeah, count now 2-0. Played at Texas Tech her freshman and sophomore seasons. Had a good weekend last weekend, too, against Auburn. This one catches his own down the middle for strike 1. Went 4 for 8 against the Tigers. Played in only games 1 and 2, but 4 for 8. 4 runs scored, 4 RBIs. Played in all games, but had homers in games 1 and 2. This one softly hit right behind the bag at second, or rather, it tailed a little bit further than I thought it would. It gets in the shallow center, but Kinley Keller able to make the grab for out number 3. So the Razorbacks go 1-2-3 in the away half of the second. That'll send us to the bottom half of the second inning. And A flawless inning for Mississippi State. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for the Razorbacks. And so good to see there for Peja Gould, able to work through a clean inning. Not easy to ask for against such a great offense from Arkansas. And so see if the Bulldogs can get the sticks going as we head to the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, and Barbari's going to come up. She's a senior from Douglasville, Georgia. She enters this series among the program's top 10 in doubles with 43. That's tied 7th in Mississippi State history. And homers with 29 in her career. That's 9th ever for the Bulldog program. So a lot of hype surrounding her coming into this series. Hopefully she can hold on her own. And then you talk about Kinley Keller making that defensive play. She's going to come up in just a few bats after Barbary, and we can see if we can make magic happen here, Ty, because we need this momentum to set the tone against this high-ranked Arkansas team.
Well, she's not exactly due up just yet. State would have to get on in some way and able to get to her. State's got 5, 6, and 7 due up. It's Barbary, Bernardini, and Rivera, so 3 straight seniors due up in the order for Mississippi State. And facing off again against Robin Heron. You know, look closer at what Heron's done in SEC play too, Connor. At a collective coming into this ball game, 1.79 ERA in 8 appearances so far, 5 games started. She's gone 3-2, has had 2 complete games and 2 shutouts. 27 and a third innings she's pitched so far. Again, this is all coming in to this series. 20 hits, giving up 14 runs, only 7 of them earned, 17 walks, 37 strikeouts. Opponents with a 196 batting average against her, so has been consistent all season, and that's been Arkansas's ace all season as well.
Oh yeah, that's why they decided to start her against a tough team like Mississippi State. They knew coming into this that this Mississippi State team wasn't coming just to play, so they knew they had a tough battle against them, and that's why they decided to start her.
Nadia Barbary going to stand in for State to start the bottom of the second. This one, a tough play. Rio has trouble with it at short, but able to knock it down and gather it and throw it over to first in time for out number 1. So 1 gone here in the home half of the second for Mississippi State, and that'll bring up left fielder Morgan Bernardini.
Needed some of that 440 speed to get to first base. Kind of juggled that ball, but still able to get her out at first. But, hey, she's going to get him next time.
Bernardini standing in with a 276 batting average. That one on the inner half for strike 1. 5 multi-hit games on the season. A 2 for 9 weekend in Gainesville. Struggled a little bit in SEC play, though, an average at 176. This one fouled back and to the net. She's quickly down in the count, 0-2. About 5:22 p.m. Central Time here in Starkville. So you'll also have Bulldog baseball. The first pitch scheduled for 6. Might start a little bit later than that, but a lot of sports going on the diamond this weekend here in Starkville. This 0-2 in the dirt. The count now 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Starkville is bumping today. Even this morning, I believe there was something going on at the pitch earlier, and a lot of cars, a lot of roadblocks, so I had to get around that going to class this morning. It was difficult.
1-2 to Bernardini, sent through the right side. She just stayed with that one. An excellent 2-strike approach and a 1-out single for Bernardini. And again, just an excellent 2-strike approach there. Just stayed with the outside pitch to the right side, followed it through, and she's on with a single for Mississippi State.
She's on with a .322 on base percentage. I always like to look at that number to see how often they get on base, and here she is.
Des Rivera now going to stand in. First pitch to her fouled high and out of play for strike 1. Rivera coming in, struggled in SEC play as well. Average under 200. 2 for 10 last weekend in 3 starts in Gainesville. And she fouls this one back just a hair off of it. Going out of play, and the count now 0-2.
You notice she's popping it up every time she hits that ball so far. That's because she's tied the Mississippi State single-season record with 5 sack flies, which is 6 nationally this year. Not saying she needs to do it right now. Just want to put that stat out there. I love saying them.
This one fouled back and high and out of play again, and right on top of the press box above us here at News Park. And so she'll stay alive in the count for the time being. Bernardini over at first base. for State. So far, a hit apiece so far in each inning. Here's the 0-2 to her. Swinging a foul ball back again. There's a little out in front of that one, but got enough on it to stay alive in the count. And so still no balls in the count, but doing a good job of making Heron in the circle work for it.
And she's got room to play, right? So she's going to kind of maybe throw something here that might not be able to make contact.
This one swung on and fouled out of play over towards left field. To get that above the fence and over towards the practice facility, and count again will stay where it is, 0-2. Great at bat here from Rivera.
Who am I kidding? She's going to make contact with the ball anytime she gets a pitch.
I'll see if she can put one in fair territory here and miss an Arkansas glove. This one, a blooper down the right field line, and it does miss an Arkansas glove. There goes Bernardini to third. She's safe. Rivera slides in with a double. One out double for Des Rivera. Mississippi State's got ducks on the pond here in the bottom of the second. Runners at second and third with one out in a scoreless ball game.
And, we talked about her earlier. You're like, oh, Connor, we gotta wait till we get to her so she gets on. Well, now she's on, Ty. Kinley Keller batting eighth, the center fielder, freshman for Mississippi State. 340 batting average on the season. So let's see if she can rack in some RBIs, get some Mississippi State Bulldogs home, and let's get this momentum going, shall we?
Keller standing in. Like you said, at 340 batting average. This one misses outside for ball one, but has, again, struggled in SEC play. State has struggled at the dish in SEC play. 118 batting average in conference play so far. 2 RBIs, but an opportunity to add a couple more here and add a hit as well. A good count to do it now. This one misses on the count 2-0. And a catcher in Miller going to go out and talk to her pitcher in Heron. So again, Bulldogs with a Bernardini single into right. A 2-strike count, and it's 2-strike hitting has been great for State here so far. A single on 2 strikes for Bernardini in the right, and a double with 2 strikes for Des Rivera. Bulldogs have 3 hits and 2 runners in scoring position. And again, looking for those early runs like we talked about in the pregame.
She struggled against Florida, but hey, she's got a home run in conference play, so maybe we can see what can happen when she gets a ball right where she wants it.
Well, this one misses the strike zones. The count now 3 balls and no strikes. Could be a take scenario here. We'll see how aggressive she gets. 3-0 to the freshman. That one catches the outer half. Count now 3-1. Still very much a hitter's count for Kinley Keller. Keller this season with runners in scoring position, 412 batting average. Good odds there. Here's the 3-1. This one fouled back, and Heron able to get back, and the count now makes it full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The bottom of the second for State, back-to-back hits for the Bulldogs. A single and a double. Runners at second and third, and State trying to tack on their first runs of the ball game and the game's first runs. The 3-2 misses low, ball 4. And a great job from Keller there. Even though I got the 2 strikes, able to continue to work in the count. And the bases are juiced for Mississippi State here in the home half of the second for the 9-hole hitter in Zian Romero.
Now bases are loaded. Everybody's thinking what I'm thinking. I'm not going to say it, though, Ty, because I don't want to put that juju out there just yet. Zion Romero's up, though. She can make something happen here for Mississippi State. We've talked about getting these runs early on in these tough matchups and these tough games, especially in conference play. Talked about how Coach Ricketts said, look, any conference series we're going to play is going to be tough from here on out. So this is going to be a tough one, and we'll see what happens whenever Zion Romero gets in the batter's box. Hopefully something gold will happen. And I'm going to talk about Paige Gould.
So Romero and the Bulldogs offense meeting near the State's dugout, and so is Arkansas in the circle, and they'll now break. And so just trying to talk things over here. Again, early in the ball game, but want to make your mark early here in this one. State has not been able to win a Game 1 in conference play so far this year, and so trying to find that elusive Game 1 win. A good opportunity here to take an early lead. Zian Romero going to stand in. Well, last time at home in Game 3, she came up clutch with a big 2 RBI single. Trying to do something here with runners at every base. This one misses. The count now 1-0 to the sophomore out of Lake Elsinore, California, who has been performing well as of the last 2 weeks and starting to receive a lot of starts at second base now. 1-0. Fouled off the netting above the Arkansas bench, and the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, that's why she's here, Ty, right? She didn't get a lot of opportunity at the beginning of the season, but she made up for it whenever we got closer to conference play, and here she is at the bottom of the lineup trying to make magic happen.
Runners at every base for State. 1 out in the inning. 1-1 count to Romero. Here's the pitch. Misses high ball 2. State waiting for that lineup to flip over. Hopefully it can, and Bulldogs don't ground into a double play. Kiara Sells in the on-deck circle for the maroon and white. That's Romero at the dish right now. A 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. Swing, and just off of that one, a foul ball tipped back to the netting, and the count now evens at 2-2. So count goes 1-0, then 1-1. Count goes 2-1, then 2-2. Just been a consistent battle. Herron has had to work it, so have Bulldog hitters. Bulldog hitters have done a good job so far this inning. Let's see if Romero can win the 2-2 battle here.
I hope that trend doesn't continue, Ty, because it won't be good for Romero.
Here's the 2-2. Misses high ball 3. And so it's been ball, strike, ball, strike, ball.
We don't want to strike here, Ty.
No strike.
Don't put that out there now.
No strike. See if Romero can battle. 2-strike hitting has been clutch for State all innings so far. They've recorded both of their hits off of it. The 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Romero down in the count. A good cut there, but just behind. And 2 gone in the inning. State trying to take advantage with a bases loaded situation. Lineup flips over. It's Kiara Sells who stands in.
Kiara Sells second in the lineup in RBIs, number 1 for home runs on the year for Mississippi State in this lineup. So maybe she does something.
All speed misses high for ball 1. Sells grounded out last half inning, riding a 11-game reached base streak and a 7-game hit streak. The 1-0 to her. In there on the outer edge, the count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. At third base, it's Bernardini. At second base, it's Rivera. At first base, it is Keller.
Now, you better not put no mathematical trend out there for her.
This one misses high now. The count 2-1. So Sells trying to work the count here. Nowhere to put Kiara Sells. Herron has already registered a walk so far this inning and given up 2 hits. No runs scored yet. The 2-1. Right down the middle, there's strike 2, and the count evens. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the bottom of the second for Mississippi State. Runners at every bag. The Bulldogs trying not to strand the bases loaded. Big pitch here early in the ball game.
Who better in this position than Kiara Sells herself?
Here's the 2-2. Swing, and she stays alive. Fouls that one high and out of play over towards the right side. And for the time being, she'll have another crack at it. Bulldogs, again, so far 3 hits through the ball game. Had 1 back in the first, 2 so far this inning. Sells looking to find an important 3rd hit that would give the Bulldogs the lead. Here is the 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Man, what a big 2 outs to get from Robin Herron. Back-to-back strikeouts, and the Bulldogs leave them loaded. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and again, State leaves them loaded, 3 left on base. That sends us to the top half of the third as the second inning ends here in Starkville. Still scoreless. Bulldogs leave them loaded. And for Arkansas, next half inning, they're going to have 8-9-1 due up. Miller, Davison, and Johnson against Peja Gould of Mississippi State. Back in just a moment for more Bulldog softball. I'm Ty Goldman alongside Connor Davis, and this is Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network in Learfield.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric, and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. I'm Ty Goldman alongside Connor Davis. We head to the third here in Starkville, scoreless between number 13 Mississippi State and number 8 Arkansas. Bulldogs were threatening in the bottom of the second, but they left the bases loaded. Great pitching and back-to-back strikeouts from Robin Heron gets Arkansas out of the jam. And again, we head to the third scoreless. Kennedy Miller, the 8-hole hitter for the Razorbacks, going to stand in the right-handed batter's box and face off against Peja Gould, who so far through 2 innings has looked good. The first pitch going to miss outside for ball 1, but only giving up that 1 hit there in the first inning. No walks, strikeout has looked solid so far.
Yeah, and you mentioned the batting average by this Arkansas team. None of them have one under 300, and Peja Gould's really good standing their ground today.
This one just misses off the inner edge. Count quickly 2-0. On Kennedy Miller behind the plate today for the Razorbacks. .333 batting average so far in SEC play. There's that off-speed pitch in there, just sliding into the strike zone for strike 1. But a .333 batting average so far for Kennedy Miller in SEC play. Went 3 for 5 last weekend against Auburn on a 6-game reach base streak. This one fouled over towards the state bench, and the count will even at 2-2. So Gould able to get even in the count after falling behind early 2-0.
Well, this is someone not to mess with. She was a freshman All-American in 2024. She's trying to return to her former glory here today.
This one misses low. Count runs full. Gould trying to avoid giving up her first walk of the ball game, and Gould has done a good job not giving up very many walks in conference play. 12 walks and 41 strikeouts is the ratio there. 41 Ks to 12 walks in conference play coming into this series. That one fouled out of play. Count stays full. So now you can make that 42 strikeouts and 12 walks. She's got 1 today. Looking for her second here. This one hits Miller on the shin, and so she'll take her base down the first, and Razorbacks with a lead-off runner. The Bulldogs had retired 5 in a row, but Miller able to wear one off the shin and trot down the first base. Carly Davison in the 9-hole spot going to stand in for the Hogs.
Just a little love tap, Ty.
Yeah, I would much rather, if it's going to be ball 4, just let it not hit me. But, take it any way you can get it. Davison showing bunt, pulls back. That was ball 1. And over there at first base is Miller threatening.
You can't make it easy on them, Ty. If they're going to do something good against you, you got to make them pay for it, right?
Barbary playing into the bag at third. Now Davison swings away and sends this one high and foul. A loud foul ball right there. If that would have been straightened out, would have been on Highway 182. As the count now, 1 ball and 1 strike. Davison with 6 home runs this season, 13 total extra base hits, a .368 average. Now showing bunt, and Barbary comes up to field it, throw to first in time as Romero is covering. But Davison does the good job. A sacrifice bunt moves Miller over to second base, and the Hogs have a runner at second once again in this ball game with 1 out. This time it comes in the top half of the third inning as the lineup flips over to Reagan Johnson. Johnson 0 for 1. Popped out in foul territory to start the ball game, but has been incredibly solid this season. was really able to get on base for the Hogs. First pitch to her, a strike. You listen to this. A senior, second coming into this ball game, second in all-time career batting average at Arkansas, only behind the legendary Bree Ellis. Only player in program history to register multiple 70-plus hit seasons. Every season that she's played so far, these past 3, has had over 70 hits. She has had an illustrious career for the Razorbacks, but she's quickly now down to the count 0-2, and Gould trying to find her second strikeout of the ball game. Here's the pitch. This one grounded back to Gould. Throw over to third, and they nail the runner at third base. Miller out at third. Arkansas going to try and challenge it. Miller nods at her third base coach saying, yeah, we need to look at this. Gould, though, had the wherewithal to throw it over to third base, and from my look, it looked like the throw was in time, but Arkansas going to take a look at it. Third base umpire in Anthony Williams thought so too, but we'll see as we get a review here.
I hope it goes in Mississippi State's favor. You kind of saw Paige Gould hesitate a little bit before third. She was going to go first, kind of went to third instead to prevent that runner from going home, and hopefully that hesitation does not play into the decision here, and if it does, we'll get them next time.
So if the play stands, calling the field stands, it'll be runner at first with 2 outs for the Razorbacks. If it is overturned, be runners at the corners with 1 out. Again, all replays in SEC play coming from the SEC offices in Birmingham. That play still under review. I think it was pretty close. Don't see it on the Jumbotron just yet out in left field. But, thought it was a close play over there. From what I saw, it looked like she got her just in time, but I wouldn't be surprised if that right foot snuck in over there at third base. We'll just have to see. We're still awaiting the call here.
I'll apologize that we can't have a replay for the viewers listening here, but we can tell you about it whenever we get that.
Well, we can't get one either.
Well, you're right, because they taking this series going to be over by the time they figure out what happened.
It's a close play, and it is a big play too. Especially runner being at third base with 1 out in the inning. State couldn't capitalize on that, but again, you feel like Arkansas, especially in that top half of the order now, is in a really good spot to be able to try and capitalize on it. But if the play stands, it'd just be a runner at first with 2 outs. So, it's a really, again, early in the game, but another pivotal play. And so, still trying to figure out what the resolution is.
This could be the call that shifts the entire momentum for either side.
Could be. It was a great wherewithal play there from Gould. Let's see if it counts. Ruling on the field is confirmed, and out at third base.
Love to hear it.
Yep, Miller out at third base. Clean 1-5 put out. You don't see those a lot, but a 1-5 put out. Gould able to throw over and cut down the leadoff runner. Now Brinley Bain will stand in with 2 outs and a runner at first base. For Bain, only Hog in the order with I don't want to say only Hog in the order, only Razorback in the order with a hit.
You can call them Hogs. This ain't the Razorbacks.
Yeah, well, when you refer to it as a like singular like that, I don't want to say only Hog. I don't like to say it. Doesn't sound right. Say only Razorback. She's the only Razorback with a hit so far. Had that hit back in the first, a double. Didn't amount to anything as State get out of the inning. Count now 1-1 on her. But, Bain has been fantastic in her freshman season. It was named Miss Tennessee softball in high school. This one a hard shot over to the right side. Romero able to make the grab throw over to first. Not in time, though. Ernstis tried to make the stretch but couldn't do it in time. Bain with the speed down the first base line, and there's runners at first and second for the Razorbacks with 2 outs in the top of the third.
I will say that I believe that ball got there before the runner got there at first. The only thing I'm questioning is when she stretched, did those little pinkies on the end of her feet pull off that bag, and she wasn't able to keep her foot on the bag during that catch.
Might have been the only issue there, but Romero had trouble with the ball too, bobbled it as well, able to make a strong throw, just not in time. And Ella McDowell going to stand in. The first pitch, all speed to her for strike one. You know, that's kind of how Gould likes to roll. Really a old school kind of pitcher. Loves to go with off speed. That's kind of her game. That's worked all season for her. This breaking ball misses outside, and the count evens at 1-1. McDowell struck out back in the first inning, the only strikeout victim of the ball game for Peja Gould.
You might not get many of those today with how good this Arkansas team is at hitting.
This one misses low and inside, so starting to become patient here in this third inning. Gould already, no walks given up so far, had that hit by pitch earlier in the inning. 2-1, this one in the air. Shallow center, should be playable. Keller coming in, calls everybody off. But she grabs it for out number 3. So Razorbacks have a pair on base, but they strand them. A lot of stranded runners so far in this ball game for both teams. State is stranded 4, Arkansas stranded 3. For the Razorbacks in the top half of the third inning, they have no runs on no hit. They call it 1 error and 2 left on base. That error went to Zion Romero. And so the Bulldogs and the Razorbacks scoreless as we head to the bottom half of the third inning. Arkansas going to send out Robin Heron back out there to pitch in the circle. State will have 2, 3, and 4 in Styles, Carter, and Ernstus. So a sweet spot in the order for Mississippi State. A ball game that seems to be turning into another pitcher's duel here, which is kind of what it's been like so far in SEC play throughout the couple of SEC series that Mississippi State has had here at home. Man, it's just been low-scoring ball game after low-scoring ball game, and it seems like we've got one here so far.
Well, I was sweating like a hog up here during that last inning, half of the inning, and you can have 2 outs, but you really need those 3, and you can't have a story like the 3 little piggies. So 3 outs, 3 little piggies out today for that inning, and now we head to the bottom where Mississippi State can kind of get on the board first and hopefully create some new momentum, as we've talked about a couple times throughout this broadcast.
I hope that the Bulldogs can do that. Nothing our score as we head to the bottom of the third. State 1 for 4 so far with runners on, 0 for 2 with runners in scoring position, something that they have struggled with in conference play so far. Really solid with it in Game 2 against Florida last weekend, where they exploded for a SEC high 9 runs and season high 14 hits. I think they were 7 for 12 with runners in scoring position in that Game 2. So found their stride in that one, but so far, and again it's early, but have struggled in those scenarios. And so maybe if the Bulldogs can get some runners on, can get them moving around the base pass, and maybe get one of them to come in and score. Morgan Styles now will stand in for Mississippi State. Styles 0 for 1, a flyout in the first. So we're just about set, and we're ready. Home plate umpire Ronald White gives Heron the go-ahead, and the first pitch a strike on the outside half. No balls, 1 strike, the count. Heron so far through 2 innings pitched, given up 3 hits, gotten that some trouble back in the second, last half inning. Giving up no runs so far, and 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. She's faced 10 Bulldog batters, now on her 11th. This one fouled back. Styles down in the count quickly, now 0-2.
Got to protect the plate here. Somebody that was used to leading off the batting order for the majority of this year now has found herself in the second spot. Kind of showing a bunt right here. Probably going to pull it back.
Yeah, going to pull back and swing. She likes to do that with 2 strikes and pulls back and takes ball 1 there on the outer half. Again, State's 2-out hitting has been the key in this one. And it really I should say it's 2-strike hitting. You'd love to have the 2-out hitting to be the key, but 2-strike hitting has been fantastic for State, but not so much there as it's a strike 3 looking on Morgan Styles. She goes down, and 0 for 2 today, and Anna Carter now going to stand in with 1 out in the bottom of the third for MSU.
You want to know the difference between a baseball and a softball umpire? It was that right there. You get a baseball umpire down there, he's going to yell, and you're going to hear him up here on a strikeout. But he did a little kung fu move, and that was it.
Anna Carter standing in, and this one right down the middle for strike 1. Carter, that single back in the first. Again, continuing her hot hitting through SEC play and over the last couple of series for Mississippi State. 0-1 to her. That one catches the outer half. The count now 0-2. So Herron this inning, which she struggled with last inning, now doing a good job of getting ahead in the counts. Ahead again now, this time on Carter, 0-2. One out already in the bottom of the third inning. Here comes the 0-2. Misses on the outer half for ball one. Carter, so far, really solid on-base percentage this season, and it's extended or gotten better after that hit earlier in the ballgame. Right at 400 now, and has walked 14 times this year. Has been able to get on base a lot for Mississippi State. All speed pitch misses low, and so Carter being selective here, but got to continue to fight off anything close here with 2 strikes.
Well, she's known to hit the ball in conference play. She's got 5 hits in conference play with not that much to show for it, so she could get one here.
This one fouled over towards the Arkansas dugout. She stays alive for the time being. Yeah, 5 hits, now 6 hits after that one earlier. And so, again, an average in conference play coming in that was at 294. And, again, it's one of the best averages for Mississippi State as just a standalone average in conference play. All speed pitch, though, and she knew it right as it hit the mitt. There's strike 3. Back-to-back K's looking for Robin Herron. Her 4th strikeout of the ball game, and quickly 2 gone here in the home half of the third for the maroon and white.
She had that walk, and she was like, no more.
Yeah, Carter knew that one, and good strikeout there for Herron, and now Ernstus going to stand in. And time called as Ernstus will get everything ready to go. First pitch misses low and outside for ball one. Ernstus a pop out back in the first.
She was really good in that game 2 against Florida. Pretty good in that entire series against Florida, but game 2 specifically, she had those 5 RBIs.
All speed in there now. Count 1-1. Yeah, a great game in game 2 against Florida. Game 3 against South Carolina a couple weeks ago here at home. Had that solo home run in the left field. Really helped get her going, and like I said, has been pretty solid over the past couple of weeks for Mississippi State in conference play. This one foul back, and now the count 1-2. Again, it's been Herron doing a good job of getting ahead in counts. I mean, she's done that one. Seems like every batter so far.
Yeah, after that walk.
Yeah, in this inning. After that, a treacherous second inning has looked solid here in the third as this one misses now to count 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs in the bottom of the third, still scoreless. State with 3 hits, Razorbacks with 1. Both have left a couple of runners on base so far. This one misses high for ball 3. The count runs full. State trying to get a 2-out base runner. Bulldogs have had a runner on so far in every inning, and so trying to get that here and continue that streak. Nadia Barbary waits in the on-deck circle. Here's the 3-2 to Ernstus. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Herron strikes out the side. K looking, K swinging. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. Most dominant inning of the ballgame so far for Arkansas's Herron, and Mississippi State and Arkansas will stay scoreless through 3 as we head the top half of the 4th inning. Mississippi State and Arkansas doing battle here in Game 1 in Starkville State, looking to claim their first Game 1 victory in conference play of the season and start with some momentum this weekend against the 8th-ranked Razorbacks. We'll be back in just a moment. Again, our score 0-0 as we head the top half of the 4th inning in Starkville in Game 1 between the Hogs and the Dogs. I'm Ty Goldman alongside Connor Davis, and this is Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Everything is just a little easier when you feel at home. At Cadence Bank, we're proud to be part of your home team, and we never stop working to give you a competitive advantage. Stop by a branch or visit us online at cadencebank.com to learn more about how we're helping opportunity take shape for our community.
There's a hit out to left field. This one is gone.
Cadence Bank, a proud sponsor of Mississippi State Athletics. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fan section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network. I'm Ty Goldman alongside Connor Davis. We head to the fourth here in Starkville. Bulldogs and Razorbacks tied at 0. Pitchers duel so far between MSU and Arkansas, and Dakota Kennedy going to stand in to lead off the fourth for the Razorbacks, and a hot shot sent over the glove of Morgan Stiles at shortstop and into left field for a lead-off single. There goes Dakota Kennedy, continuing her hot hitting. Has been hot all season, that average over 400, and it will increase after a leadoff single for the Razorbacks.
Well, good on Bernardini to get that in her glove and get it into the infield quick to kind of just limit that running. Only a single, could have been worse, so let's look optimistically at that. She could have went to second, but left field made sure it didn't happen.
So Tiana Bell now going to stand in. 0 for 1, grounded out back in the second. 0-0 to her. Hard grounder over to third. 5, 4, 3. Double play. Ernst able to keep the foot on over there at first base. A solidly hit ground ball. Barbary with the field. Throw over to second. Throw over to first. A twin killing. And there's 2 gone quickly here in the top half of the fourth inning. Bulldogs, great way to come back after the leadoff single.
I don't know if I've heard cowbells louder in News Park today, so fantastic play for Mississippi State defensively, and hopefully them cowbells can keep it ringing.
Natalia Rijo now going to stand in. First pitch to her misses outside for ball 1. Rijo popped out to Zion Romero at second base back in the second inning. She fouls this one over toward her own bench. And the count now evens at 1 ball and 1 strike.
I don't know if I think we mentioned it earlier. Just want to mention again, 11-game reached base streak for Rio this season. I think you mentioned it earlier. Just wanted to point that out again. But today she hadn't reached base yet, so.
And looking, I think it's going to be trouble to try and do it here. If she can maybe see if she can hone in on a 2-strike approach. Count now 1-2 on her. Here's the pitch. This is outside. 2-2 with 2 outs in the inning. So a leadoff single for Dakota Kennedy, and then a 5-4-3 double play, and the Bulldogs trying to get out of this inning and get the sticks back up and working. The 2-2 just misses outside, and the count now runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Rio on the year has walked 19 times, and on base percentage so far this year coming in at .513, and that will increase as there is a walk, a 2-out walk, and trouble for Mississippi State here. As a coach and just as a watcher of softball and baseball too, never want to see 2-out walks, and those can always lead to trouble, so hopefully State can get out of this thing unscathed. It's Kaylee Wyckoff now going to stand in, 0 for 1. First pitch to her, a strike right down the middle for make the count 0-1. So over there for Rio, her 20th walk on the season. She's been able to draw. Hard grounder over to short. Stiles up with it. Easy throw over to first. And a 6-3 putout ends the Razorbacks' fourth. Easy for Mississippi State after the leadoff single. Still a walk with 2 outs, but the defense has shined so far for the Bulldogs in this one. 1 error committed so far, but it has not come back to haunt the Bulldogs for Arkansas in their home half of or away half of the fourth. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. That'll send us to the bottom half of the fourth inning where State will have 5, 6, and 7 due up. Barbary, Bernardini, Rivera. Now, State had this in the second inning, that same exact part of the lineup due up. and had their biggest scoring threat with that bases loaded, had bases loaded with one out. And so hopefully State can repeat that here, but score some runs this time and try and see if we can take a lead here in the middle of the ball game.
I'm not going to stress about it, Ty, but if you look at that error trend against Florida, you started the first game with none, you had one in the second game, you had two in that final game where you lost 5-4 to kind of lose that series, where you were right there at the couple seconds of the game to try to win that thing. And now you're looking at it, well, hey, that one error hadn't been much for you for Mississippi State. So if I know anything about trends, I just don't want it to happen for this series.
Arkansas going to send back out Robin Heron in the circle. And again, Barbary, Bernardini, Rivera up for State 5, 6, and 7 as we head to the bottom of the fourth, scoreless at 0. Look at some scores around the conference and game ones all around the conference this weekend. Obviously, State, as we're here in the bottom of the fourth inning, 0-0. Florida on top of South Carolina in Columbia, 1-0 in the top half of the fourth inning. Missouri trailing the Georgia Bulldogs in Athens 5-0 as they're in the top half of the third inning. Looking around and trying to find some more Southeastern Conference scores. None right now. A couple of ball games coming up here as we're at the top of the hour at 6 o'clock. Top 5 matchup in Oklahoma and Texas this weekend. You got Texas A&M and Ole Miss, Alabama, Auburn. So a couple of really good SEC matchups in conference play, and a couple of scores that you just heard right there. Bulldogs, though, tied with the Razorbacks, 0-0 as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Nadia Barbary going to stand in for Mississippi State, grounded out back in the second inning. First pitch to her catches the outer half for strike one. Barbary has reached base in all but 2 Southeastern Conference games this season. Been State's best hitter in SEC play, too, coming in with a .361 average. In the Bulldogs' 12 conference games played so far, this one misses. The count now evens, 1 ball and 1 strike.
I mean, she's been a really good offensive player for Mississippi State. 1 and 2 in just about every batting category for Mississippi State this season. Fantastic.
This one popped into foul territory. Could be playable. Left fielder over, and it does get out of play. That was Kennedy going for it, along with McDowell, the third baseman, and Rio, the shortstop, but gets out of play, and the count will go now to 1-2 in favor of Heron. And talk about being a good offensive player, too. Great defensive player as well. Made that 5-4-3 double play last half inning, so hopefully can ride off some of that momentum here. A tough count to be in, though, 1-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul ball back, and staying alive for the time being. Here with no outs in the Bulldogs' half of the fourth. And also, too, at the top of the hour here at 6 p.m. Central Time in Starkville, you got Mississippi State baseball just about set to get underway. A 3-game series this weekend at Duty Noble Field with the Tennessee Volunteers. 1-2. Barbary sends this one in the left and down right in front of Kennedy, and a leadoff single for the Bulldogs' third baseman. He gets the Bulldogs' fourth inning started.
I will say, trying to leave this place after softball comes to a conclusion. Hopefully a Mississippi State victory. It's going to be hectic with baseball right across the way. So it's a nice single for Barbary. She continues reaching base like you talked about earlier. And we're seeing something right here on the umpire.
Yeah, so we got, I think that's home plate umpire Ronald White. I don't know exactly. He's grabbing at, I think, the left calf, and hopefully he didn't pull it, or hopefully he doesn't have a cramp. State's athletic trainer out there to make sure he's all right. He just came up hobbling a little bit after the play, and really didn't see much of him moving. I guess maybe moved a little bit away from the box where he stands, but hope he's all right as they State's athletic staff tends to him.
We got a trainer down there, but no pickle juice.
Yeah,
what if he's got a cramp?
Yeah, I don't know. I can't tell. I can't tell if it's cramp. I mean, it looks like a cramp the way he's stretching that left foot, and he's trying to walk it off. Yeah, he caught I'm pretty sure he caught a cramp.
Charlie Horse got him a little
Charlie Horse. Just moving a little bit too quick there behind the plate. You would think by now in SEC play we're about halfway through, and he would have it all worked out. Yeah, you'd think he'd have it all worked out, but he's
those years are behind him.
He's a little past that, but he's working through it, trying to fight that off. But again, a great single for State to start the fourth inning, and State has just continuously been at Arkansas with the sticks here, and been really impressive for Mississippi State so far. Really attacking early and giving their offense chances to score. Hadn't done it quite yet, but maybe an opportunity here.
Well, the next two in Bernardini and Rivera that are coming up to bat, those are women that were on the bases when we had them all loaded a couple innings ago, and maybe we can make something happen here. But they already touched base once, so why not get on that again? You had it happen multiple times in that Florida series, especially that game 2. So hopefully they can get on base.
So they've brought home plate umpire in Ronald White over towards the back of the State dugout. Might be going into the training facility for State to try and get something to where he can get that cramp figured out. I think it was a cramp, but I don't know. Hopefully he's all right. But I also wanted to mention too, Arkansas has made a change in right field. They brought in for Wyckoff out there. They've got Kyler Del Duca out there, freshman out of Chino, California, and so she's come in a couple of ball games this year and pinch hit and defensive replacement scenario. So she comes in to play right. So there's a defensive change for you there. We'll do a reset for you as we got a lot of time here. Field alignment on the for Arkansas. You've got let's see, the battery is Heron still in the circle, and Miller behind the plate. You got McDowell at third, Rio at shortstop, Davison at second base, Bell in right field, Kennedy in left, Johnson in center, and they again have moved Del Duca to right field. So that's the Razorbacks alignment, and again just waiting to Ronald White's cramp sorted out here.
Yeah, well, while we're waiting, we might as well yap it up a little bit. Del Duca, Chino, California. Went to Chino Hills. You saw that.
All right, so I know where you're going.
Okay. Where am I going with this?
The Ball brothers, right?
The Ball brothers.
Yeah.
Chino Hills, man. And Rivera went to Chino, California, from Chino, California. I don't know if she went to Chino Hills, though. We might have to get an official review on that as we wait for the official review on the Charlie horse. But Chino Hills, man, real nice. But got some good basketball over there.
It did not go to Chino Hills High School, but from Chino, California.
Yeah.
So a couple of Chino natives in the ball game now.
Chino for Chino.
Chino for Chino. A couple of Athens, Alabama natives in the ball game, and both on Mississippi State's team, and Morgan Stiles and Anna Carter. So, we take this time, I guess, to let you know. You could follow us. We do this on hailstate.com, the Hail State app. I'm very appreciative to be able to do that with Learfield and powered by Learfield. And thank you to our softball SID and Brian Ogden and getting this set up. The main man, the voice of the Bulldogs, and Neil Price helping us out, and also our communication department sponsor and Chris Mission. And thank those three gentlemen very, very much, and all the technical support guys that have been helping us out through this process as well, mention their names as well. The two I've talked with a couple times, Ross Swanner and Jonathan Ashley. Thank those guys very much. They've helped us out. So we do this on hailstate.com and the Hail State app. We also do it on YouTube as well. We've got a YouTube channel, Bulldog Student Sports Network on YouTube, and then you can follow us on social media as well, on X at BSSN_MSU, and then on Instagram at Bulldog Student Sports Network, and just kind of see what we're up to. We're calling softball, SEC softball on Learfield and also on our YouTube channel as well. But we've been calling games for quite some time in the past year now. Football, baseball, basketball, you name it.
We called last year too.
Yeah, so called softball last year as well. So for the past 2 years, I should say. So again, a great opportunity to be able to do this. We thank everybody involved, and you should give us a follow on our social media accounts. Again, on Instagram at Bulldog Student Sports Network, on X at BSSN_MSU, and subscribe to us on YouTube, and you'll be able to watch us broadcast Mississippi State athletic events. Got Got the Charlie horse figured out from Ronald White, and we're ready for action again. Morgan Bernardini showing bunt and fouls this one back to the netting for strike one. So middle of the ball game here, Bernardini trying to do a job and lay down a bunt. Singled back in the second inning, so State playing a little bit more conservative here, and the task is just to get this thing laid down.
Well, at this point, one run could make a huge difference, Ty.
Looks like she's swinging away here and doesn't offer at it, but didn't offer to bunt either, as that one missed way low for ball one. Count evens. Nadia Barbary at first base. State not going with a pinch runner. Usually you would see them do that at times, but not doing it here. Showing the bunt is Bernardini and pops it up. Man, just absolutely what you did not need to do. Coming in to make the play is Bell. There's out number one. You just got to be able to lay that bunt down, and Bernardini unable to do it. So one out in the inning for State with still a runner at first base.
And Bell coming in, one of the more premier hitters for Arkansas, and she just made a premier play on defense.
Yeah, hadn't made an error this season as well, so continuing her good play defensively. As Des Rivera now going to stand in, and the first pitch to her, she's hitting the back. And so going to trot down the first base. And Rivera, her second time she's been hit by a pitch this season. The Bulldogs, runners at first and second now with one out, and kind of trending the way they did in the second inning. And Bulldogs now going to make the switch with Barbary at second base. They go with Allie Supan, who will come out there and run. Primarily been a pinch runner this season, scored 14 runs in overall, 2 of them in SEC play. Pinch ran in all 3 games last weekend against Florida. So we'll
scored in game 3.
Scored in game 3 as well. Good pull right there. So she'll come in pinch run for Barbary Barbary at second base. You got Rivera at first base, and at the dish it's Kinley Keller. And so she walked in her last plate appearance and looking to find a way to score here from Mississippi State. This one fouled back, and the count now 0-1. Again, walked in her last plate appearance, loaded the bases in that bottom of the second for Mississippi State, but Bulldogs struck out 2 times in a row and couldn't add on anything in the run column.
It's all that Chino talk we were talking about earlier.
I guess that sparked up some more offense for Mississippi State. Here's the 0-1, misses outside. The count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Supan out there running at second, and a lot of speed out there. Scored a lot of runs for State this year. Pinch hit, or pinch run a lot for the Bulldogs as well, so a lot of experience there. The 1-1 to Keller. Swung on, sent into right, given a decent ride. Del Duca, newly into the game, over to make the play towards the right field line, but tagging the third is Supan, and Rivera staying put at first base. So an out, but a productive out, and a 2 outs now in the inning in Mississippi State, with runners at the corners, and the Bulldogs going to go to a pinch hitter. It's going to be Gabby Schaefer. And so Schaefer will stand in place of Zion Romero, try and tack on the first run of the ball game for Mississippi State, maybe more. Bulldogs now with, this is going to be their 4th opportunity with runners in scoring position. Schaefer coming in with a .280 batting average in SEC play, has struggled, only 1 hit so far, and now her 9th game played.
She's
the 0-0 to her, misses high and outside for ball 1.
.280 on the season. Her SEC batting average only 83, so really struggled in conference play. So maybe Coach Ricketts is seeing something in her, maybe a change in her game.
Now time called, and see if Arkansas makes a change here. Second mound, or well, I should say circle meeting of the ball game for the Razorbacks from Fayetteville. Arm loosening in the pen for Arkansas. Can't quite tell the number. Looks like a single-digit number, but I can't tell from here.
Well, that sun's blocking us out like nobody's business.
It looks like now 2 getting loose, so I can tell you 2. I can't tell you the others that are getting loose out there.
Well, you ain't got many Arkansas pitchers to choose from, so
we'll see if Arkansas decides to bring one in, but probably would need Gabby Schaefer to send one in the outfield here. This one misses low for ball 2, and Schaefer in a good count here. 2-0 on her. Has driven in 9 runs this season for Mississippi State. A ball hitting the outfield could make it 10. Just got to put one in play and make the defense work. Here's a 2-0. Swing and a foul tip into the glove for strike one. There's a 2-1 count now. Supan at third. Rivera at first base. Supan pinch running for Barber, who had that leadoff single from Mississippi State. Rivera was hit by a pitch. 2-1. Swing, ground ball to short. Rio up with it, throw to first in time for out number 3. And the Bulldogs strand a pair. 6 left on base for Mississippi State in the ballgame. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base for Mississippi State as that ends the 4th inning here in Starkville and sends us to the 5th. Mississippi State and Arkansas tied at 0. It's going to be Peja Gould again for Mississippi State. I'll let you know if there's any sort of change. There will not be. Peja Gould will come back out and pitch for the Bulldogs. 8-9-1 due up for Arkansas in Miller, Davison, and Johnson. Back in just a moment for more Bulldog softball. Again, our score 0-0 as we head to the top half of the 5th inning. I'm Ty Goldman alongside Connor Davis, and you're listening to Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C Spire. Customer inspired.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network. I'm Ty Goldman alongside Connor Davis here in Starkville. Game 1 between number 13 Mississippi State and number 8 Arkansas. And we are tied at 0 as we head to the top half of the 5th inning. Another pitcher's duel here at home for Mississippi State in SEC play. It's been that way through their 2 SEC home series so far. And we're getting what we've seen all year here in Starkville in conference play. Kennedy Miller going to stand in. First pitch to her. A foul ball back to the netting for strike one. She was hit by a pitch back in the 3rd, was able to reach. Razorbacks have 2 hits so far. They've left 4 on base. Bulldogs have made 1 error in a ball game. This one hit softly out to left, and Tatum Silva, newly into the game in left field, going to make the play for out number 1. So 1 up, 1 down. Look at the new field alignment for Mississippi State as Davison going to stand in now for Arkansas, and Carly Davison, the 9-hole hitter. The battery, Gould on the mound, or excuse me, in the circle. Rivera behind the plate. First pitch to Davison in there for strike 1. So Gould in the circle, Rivera behind the plate. Same infield except Schaefer over there at second. So Barbary at third, Styles at short, Schaefer at second. Ernstis at first base, and there's a swing and a miss from Davison for strike 2. You got Silva out and left now. Keller is still in center, and Kiara Sells remains in right field. 0-2 now the count. 1 out in the inning. Gould looking for her second K. This one misses outside for ball 1. Count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. So only 1 strikeout through 4 1/3 so far for Gould, but it's been the defense that has been working for Mississippi State in this ballgame. Here's the 1-2. Got her looking. Strikeout number 2 for Peja Gould. 2 retired here in the Razorback half of the 5th inning. Good start for Mississippi State. A fly out and a strikeout. The Bulldogs 1 out away from getting back on offense.
And hopefully putting a run on the board. Ty, I said earlier, maybe 1 run's going to be the difference maker in this ball game, and so far that's what it's looking like. Peja Gould with her first pitch to Reagan Johnson. It's going to be a ball.
Yeah, Gould again has just looked solid, and the defense has looked solid too. Even though the 1 error is still, regardless, I think State has looked solid defensively. There's been pressure at times. This one misses inside now, 2-0. Pressure at times. Runners on base. Obviously, Arkansas's left 4 on. And the Bulldogs have been able to fight through that. Johnson with a 2-0 count on her. Looking to slap it the other way and takes a pitch for strike 1. Johnson 0 for 2 in that leadoff spot. Kind of feel like she's due. If you're an Arkansas fan, coming off a 2 for 10 weekend last weekend against Auburn. 2-1. Fouled high and going to get out of play. And the count evens at 2-2. Deuces on the board now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top half of the 5th inning. And Connor, I was just talking about, again, it's just, and we've been talking about 2 in breaks. Every game so far has been pitcher's duel after pitcher's duel after pitcher's duel here at home for State. So this one misses outside. The count now 3-2.
We haven't been able to have really much offensive success, it seems like. I mean, as good as your pitching staff is, you haven't been able to make that contrast with another team's pitching staff and kind of perform offensively like you wish you would have.
This one slapped to short. Throw over from Styles in time to get the speedy Johnson. Man, she was flying down the line, but Styles' throw in time for out number 3. A no run, no hit, no error, nobody left on base inning. A 1-2-3 inning for the Razorbacks. They're retired for only the 2nd time of the ball game in order, and it's stretch time here in Starkville, bottom half of the 5th. Bulldogs in a good spot in the order. See if they leave Herron out there. If Arkansas does, they will. But State, that order flipped over now. Sells, Styles, Carter. And both Sells and Styles looking for their first hits of the ball game. Both of them 0 for 2. So, again, State fan and, me, you, we both feel like, and them as well, both feel like they're due. They're going to be key if Mississippi State has a big inning in this one. But, again, our score 0-0 as we're in the middle of the 5th inning. But, Connor, like we talked about this last half inning offensively for State, and you mentioned kind of we haven't been able to reciprocate things offensively so far, at least this season, in terms of, especially in SEC play, in terms of, just how good our pitching has been. I think in this one, you've seen a really good approach at the plate, I believe. I don't think it's – obviously you want to have more hits and obviously have more runs, but I think you've seen a underrated approach at the plate. I think State's come out and been really aggressive. At times they've K'd up, but I think they've looked pretty good so far. Just haven't been able to scratch a run across. But that's where you're going to have to start to come on.
Defense has never really been a big issue for Mississippi State, and it's whenever you let that offense kind of struggle a little bit is when defense starts to struggle. You see errors, and then you see kind of fielding percentage dip, and that's whenever you kind of let the other team's momentum. But I talked about it with Coach Ricketts. We've been known to score, especially in conference play, in these later innings, and the 5th inning is where it starts. So hopefully we can get something starting here because, like I said, 1 run might be enough to win this ball game, and hopefully it's Mississippi State that gets that run and not Arkansas.
I mean, that's kind of how it's been. State had a game here at home that was decided by 1 run. That Game 2 walk-off winner for Mississippi State against Tennessee. Solo home run from Taylor Troutman, 1-0 State win. So State's had that 1-run deficit here at home, or had that 1-run win here at home. You've seen it happen before. There may be a chance for it to happen again. First pitch to Kiara Sells, misses low for ball 1 again. Robin Herron still out there working in her 5th inning of work. Has given up 4 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. The 1-0 to Sells. Foul ball back, count evens at 1-1. Sells again looking for her first hit. Has had plate appearances in the 1st and the 2nd, a ground out and a strikeout in that order. And again, coming into the ball game on a 11-game reach base streak, 7-game hit streak. So I want to see her extend that. This one misses outside, just barely, and the count now 2-1.
Well, she's got a pretty good batting average. Right now she sits at .402, so that leads Mississippi State in batters, and that's why she leads off, right, Ty? Because you get to the bottom of that batting order, you want to hit runners in.
2-1 now. Fouled out of play, excuse me. And so now the count evens at 2-2, and she's really come on over the past 2 weeks as well. Went 4 for 8 last weekend against Florida, and 2 doubles, a homer, RBI, scored 2 runs. So really come on in the past 2 weeks. This one misses low ball 3, count full now, 3-2. In SEC play, too, coming into this one, a 303 batting average as well. Racked up 10 hits. Also a 439 on-base percentage coming into SEC play, too. 3-2 count on her, nobody out in the inning. This one misses low ball 4, and so that reach base streak continues. It is extended to 12, and the Bulldogs have a lead-off runner aboard here in the home half of the 5th.
Well, she still has a 7-game hit streak, which that wasn't completed right there. So hopefully by the time we get a couple more roundups, you won't have many flips on the batting order, and hopefully she can keep that streak going. But she got a streak that mattered the most, getting on base. Hopefully we can bring her home.
Morgan Stiles standing in, looking to lay down the bunt, and a throwback to first after the bunt attempt was pulled back, and Sells in there safely. Sells got to be careful back there over at first base. Like I said, Stiles pulled that one back as it missed low for ball 1. So see if Stiles commits to trying to lay down this bunt again. State tried to do that earlier but popped one up. So see if they can lay one down. Stiles swinging away here, sends this one into left center. It is down. Into the gap. There goes Sells to third base. Coach Bratton going to hold her up, and sliding in safely head first is Morgan Stiles. And here come the Bulldogs in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Runners at second and third base, a big double for Morgan Stiles.
Not only the Bulldogs coming in hot, the cowbells are coming in hot, Ty. They're sounding louder than I've ever heard them before. I told you this is the most I've ever heard cowbells in News Park, and I'm going to stand by that. They're going crazy when they see something like this happen. A double's great, Ty, but you know what would be greater? If we got 2 runs this inning.
Would be huge. State with their biggest scoring threat since the second when they had the bases loaded with 1 out. Carter stands in. This one gets behind the catcher. Here comes Sells. Dive back, and Sells is safe. She is safe. Just beat it at home plate. Man, an aggressive decision. That one just scooted away from the catcher in Miller, but safe at home is Kiara Sells, and the Bulldogs are on top 1-0 in the bottom half of the 5th inning.
I mean, that's what you needed, right? One run might decide this entire ball game.
Take it any way you can get it.
Yeah, you got to just you're right. Take it any way you can get it, even if it's a risky decision, calling a steal from third base. Hey, it worked out in your favor, and now you got a little bit of a cushion. Not much, but a little bit.
1-0 count to Carter. Still now a runner at third. Still, just nobody at second. Sells scores. Stiles moves up. This one misses now to count 2-0. So that Sells scores on the pass ball there. It's an unearned run for Heron. And State has a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th. Ground ball towards Heron. She looks back the runner at third, and Carter thrown out at first base. So 1 gone in the Bulldogs' 5th inning. They have added a run.
She also added an out this inning, but hey.
Added an out, but able to get on the board. So big for Mississippi State. Paige Ernstus now going to stand in.
RBI queen right here, coming from that Florida series. So hopefully she can hit one more in this Arkansas series.
5 RBIs in that Florida series, all of them coming in game 2. Be big to add one here. State looking for some insurance. Obviously, a couple innings to go, but getting later in this ball game. The first pitch to her misses outside for ball 1. Ernst is still looking for a first hit. 0 for 2 so far in this ball game. This one misses now 2-0.
I love her composure in the batter's box, by the way. I'm just going to point that out. She knows what she's watching as it comes off the hand of the Arkansas pitcher.
Here's a 2-0. This one misses now 3-0. High and tight there. And yeah, I mean, just a lot of patience there in the at bat and in that batter's box. And see how aggressive she is here in a 3-0 count with a runner just 60 feet away. Here comes the 3-0 from Heron. She takes it for ball 4. Wasn't close, and a 4-pitch walk, and Bulldogs with runners at the corners. And guess what? We got Nadia Barbary coming up. You got to feel pretty good if you're Mississippi State. You have to wonder if Arkansas maybe will make a move to the pen here. Maybe try and let Nadia Barbary see a new arm. have to see a couple of Razorbacks coming and running in from the field or from the bullpen, and I think we are going to see a change, and we'll see.
We see a change from Mississippi State. As funny as it is, somebody you've seen at first base defensively a lot of the season is Abby Grace Richardson, and now she's going to pinch run at first base for Ernstis. And I just want to point that out. That's funny to see. Somebody that played first base the majority of the year is now at first base, but she's running the ball, So
yeah, she's been pinch running as of late. Pinch ran in games 2 and 3 against Florida last weekend. And so it's just kind of been in the back of that pinch run role now, and they're going to do that here with runners at the corners with 1 out for Mississippi State in the home half of the 5th. They're already up 1-0 after scoring on a pass ball. And the Razorbacks are going to go to the freshman righty out of Minocqua, Wisconsin, in Sailor Timmerman. She was the number 8 overall player and number 3 pitcher in the 25 class by Softball America, This year, a 2.29 ERA, 16 appearances, 8 games started. She's 8-0 this year. 1 complete game, 1 shutout, 52 innings pitched, 46 hits, given up 26 runs, 17 of them earned. 29 walks, 37 strikeouts. Opponents with a .230 batting average against her. SEC play so far, a 2.33 ERA, so just 4 points higher, or 0.04 points higher than on the season. It was 24 innings pitched in SEC play, a 3-0 record, 21 hits, 15 walks, 14 strikeouts. So, pitched had an appearance in Game 3, got a start and a win against Auburn last weekend. What I wanted to say about that is, you kind of look at those stats, especially through SEC play, 15 walks, 14 strikeouts. Seems like, in looking at just everybody that's kind of been mostly pitching for Arkansas, really the most walk-friendly starter on the roster. It seems like maybe Mississippi State could get some runners aboard from the walk. I don't know, because Arkansas has been really clean in that department so far in this one, so we'll see. A couple of walks for Mississippi State in the ball game, but we'll see as Arkansas goes with Sailor Timmerman. Also, Greta Grassel coming in to pinch run at first base for Mississippi State. So Grassel at third. I might have said she was at first. She's at third, and Richardson at first base. Barbary swings and foul ball back to the net for strike 1. I got said a lot right there.
Yeah,
Connor,
you did say a lot.
Yeah,
I was just wondering if you're going to take a swig of water sometime soon.
Yeah, my apologies right there. Filled the air with a bunch of stats right there. So
hopefully the viewers were paying attention to it. Sometimes you get lost in them numbers.
Here's the 0-1. Runner almost thought she was going over there at first, and Richardson have a good fake there and fake me out. Count now 1-1. Richardson with 5 stolen bags at first base. Again, Grassel at third. 1-1 count to Nadia Barbary. This one misses outside for ball 2. 2-1. Again, Bulldogs up 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th. Their only run scored this inning on a passed ball. You just take it any way you can get it. Mississippi State trying to add to that lead. Barbary, a hot shot down the left field line and foul. The count evens up 2-2.
Well, you have Grassel out there playing on that left field line, about to try to get a run in. I'm glad it didn't hit her, because that would have been worse than a Charlie horse tie.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't have felt too good. So 2-2 now to count. See if Barbary can straighten it out, send one to the outfield. This one misses off the outer edge. Count now 3 balls, 2 strikes on Barbary. Again, she's 1 for 2 today, singled last half inning. Couldn't come around the score. Got pinch run for. Her pinch runner couldn't come around to score, an Allie Supan. 3-2 count on her. This one foul ball down the third base line. Over towards Coach Tyler Bratton. And so Barbary staying alive in the count. Has driven in 33 this season for Mississippi State. That is the best RBI number for the maroon and white. Trying to add to that. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss at the high cheddar. And Richardson going to steal the bag at second base as Miller with a fake of a throw there. And Barbary goes down, swing and a miss. And so Mississippi State 2 outs in the inning, but runners at second and third, and they're going to make another move to the bench and go to Tatum Silva.
I was about to say that. We got a new face in the batter's box, something that we don't usually see probably this late in the game. Old Tatum Silva in SEC play, if I can get it right here, Ty. She's played 12 games so far, started in 7, 2.24 batting average, 4 hits, 1 run.
Yeah, what'd she do last weekend against Florida?
Well, last weekend against Florida, 3-6 right there as her batting. So a pretty good batting performance by Tatum Silva. So hopefully the same goes for Arkansas in this series.
Or rather, maybe we got fooled there. It was Morgan Bernardini standing.
Oh, they did. That is what they did. That's why Coach Ricketts went to the old.
Yeah, it looked like Silva was coming in. It's Morgan Bernardini standing in. Now she's down to count 0-2. So we got fooled right there. Apologies.
Man, and I said all that to kind of hype her up, and now Bernardini. Yeah. I'm not hating on Bernardini or anything. She's been on base already once, so hopefully she can get there again. But I do apologize for us getting fooled up here.
Bernardini down the count now 0-2. This one misses high and outside for ball 1. So Morgan Bernardini at the dish. Looked like Tatum Silva was coming in and then a late scratch there. And so I think they were just re-entering Morgan Bernardini because Silva had come in to play left field. Here's the 1-2. Ground ball up the middle. Going to be a tough play. Rijo over to her left and makes the throw in time for out number 1. Sharp play from the shortstop. Only 1 error made so far this season and looked clean right there. But the Bulldogs able to add 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, 2 left on base for Mississippi State. That sends us to the top half of the 6th as we are through 5 here in Starkville. Mississippi State claims a small but mighty 1-0 lead as we head the top half of the 6th inning. Bulldogs looking to win their first game 1 of SEC series play. Be back in just a moment as Mississippi State leads 1-0 over Arkansas. Top half of the 6th we go. I'm Ty Goldman alongside Connor Davis, and you're listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Trey Willis, shortstop.
Marshall Jones, first baseman.
Alex Philbin, center fielder.
Hi, I'm Tim from C Spire. Am I in the right place?
It always pays to have the right players on your team. That's why C Spire gives you fiber-fast home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and best-in-class business solutions, all backed by local 24/7 support. C Spire, customer inspired.
Hi, I'm Jake Mangum. Life is about making the most of your at-bats. So if you struck out looking for auto insurance, give Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance a shot. Farm Bureau Insurance is offering huge discounts on their auto rates. In fact, over the last 12 months, Farm Bureau Insurance has taken 3 rate reductions. Talk about coming through in the clutch. So if you were with us before, you're new to Farm Bureau, it's time to come home. Visit msfbins.com to find great new rates on auto insurance. And go with the home team.
Welcome back to the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield. I'm Ty Goldman alongside Connor Davis. We head to the 6th. Mississippi State able to scratch 1 across in the bottom of the 5th, and they take the first lead of the ball game, 1-0 Mississippi State as we head to the top of the 6th. They lead over the number 8 Razorbacks of Arkansas. Razorbacks will have 2, 3, and 4 to up. Bain, McDowell, and Kennedy against Peja Gould as Bain stands in the left-handed batter's box, takes the first one low and away for ball 1. Couple of defensive changes for Mississippi State. Battery still the same. Gould in the circle. Rivera behind the plate. Barbary at third. Stiles at short. Schaefer at second. Abby Grace Richardson now at first base. Here's the 1-0. Catches his own now 1-1. And you look out in the outfield. Couple of shifts around from what was out there last half inning. Bernardini in left. Kalani Sells now in center. And Kinley Keller has moved over to right field. 1-1, misses low, now 2-1. So far, Gould through 5 innings of work, only 2 hits given up, no earned runs, 1 walk. Had to hit by pitch as well. 19 batters faced, 2 strikeouts. Defense's work behind her. This one up in the air, shallow center, sails over. It's Kalani who makes the play for out number 1. 1 gone here in the Razorback half of the 6th.
Good to see from Mississippi State there. You see that sun coming down, Ty. It's not as harsh on the outfield for Mississippi State to go ahead and make that grab. And glad to happen for the first out of the inning. And look, hey, 5 more outs, Ty. You can call this one a ball game.
Well, let's hope so. It's going to be a tough 5 outs to get as Ella McDowell stands in. This one catches the inner half for strike 1. McDowell 0 for 2. Preseason second-team All-American. A K in the first, a fly out in the third. The 0-1 tour misses outside for ball 1. Evens the count up with 1 out in the inning. Yeah, you talk about that shade. It's kind of cut off. I mean, Bernardini's well okay out there in left. Left to left center really is where the shade is. Then from center all the way towards the wall over there by the bullpen and right is all sun still. So still got some sun to work with. Also the shadows can play some tricks as well. The 1-1 was fouled away by McDowell, and so the count now 1-2. Gould looking for her 3rd strikeout of the ball game. Would be a big out to get. This one misses outside. The count evens at 2-2.
Well, Arkansas hasn't really been hitting in right field anyways. Mississippi State had a couple hits out there already this game, so maybe there's not going to be many hit out there.
Yeah, both hits for Arkansas have been to left field. So here's a 2-2. All speed. Got her looking. A punch out. Strike 3. 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Peja Gould. A big out to get as McDowell is retired. And here comes the cleanup hitter in Dakota Kennedy. 2 gone in the inning. Nobody on base. Good start for Peja Gould, Mississippi State.
Always good to get a strikeout, Ty. Gotta take them when you can.
Dakota Kennedy stands in, and first pitch to her misses for ball 1. Kennedy has been one of the best hitters, obviously, in this order. Arkansas leads the team in home runs with 13. Got to be careful not to give her a great pitch to hit here in this part of the ball game. This one catches the outer half, evens the count up at 1 ball and 1 strike. You do not want to make a mistake and squander that lead. Luckily, there's nobody on the base pass, but don't want to make a mistake and have this ball game tied up.
Well, that was a great pitch right there, Ty, but the preseason second-team All-American just didn't feel like that was right there enough for her to kind of slam it through a Mississippi State defense.
2-1 now as that one misses in the dirt. Had a home run in the series sweep over Auburn. Went 2 for 7 in total last weekend. This one misses off the outer edge, and count now 3-1. So a really good count to hit here for Kennedy. Obviously, you don't want a 2-out walk either. See what she can do. 3-1 from Gould. Misses low and outside, ball 4. And so a 2-out walk. Kennedy down to first base. She's reached now 2 times in the ball game. And Arkansas with Tiana Bell now standing in.
Good hitter for Arkansas. And you talked about how risky those walks with 2 outs can be.
Well, Bell, another power hitter as well. She's had 12 homers on the season. This one sent, though, in the shallow right. Ranging in is Keller and makes the grab for out number 3. The 2-out walk does not harm Mississippi State once again. It's a clean 6th for Peja Gould of the Mississippi State defense. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 left on base. That takes us to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Bulldogs will have 7, 8, 9 due up. We'll see if they stay with these batters, but right now it would be Rivera, Keller, and Schaefer. We'll see if they stay with that order. But Mississippi State at the bottom half of the order due up. See if they can do damage. See if Arkansas also makes a change. A pitcher, they will not. They'll stay with Sailor Timmerman, who came in and went 2/3 and pitched some scoreless relief there last half inning. So looking to continue that for Arkansas and keep the ball game where it is.
Yeah, and you look at how Mississippi State's going to fare up right now at 7, 8, 9. Hopefully they don't fool us again. But this is a good opportunity, right? You got this little cushion with one run. I would love for this cushion to be bigger than you could possibly imagine. Like, we need this cushion to go to maybe 4 runs, maybe 3 runs. Something where you're comfortable enough to bring your defense back out there, bring Peja Gould back out there and handle business. Because you only have 1 more inning, and you can call it a ball game, and you can wrap it in the 2 colors that we love to wrap it in most, Ty. But before we can get to that, you got to get this cushion. This is what I want to see from this offensive play right here and hopefully get balls in the outfield where they can't get to them like you've been hitting before. But once you get on base, you got to get runners at home. You got to score.
Yeah, big inning here. State trying to add some insurance as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Mississippi State leads 1-0. Lone run scored on a pass ball. So just one mistake for Arkansas, and a costly one has given State the lead, but still some game left. Arkansas have 3 outs to work with in the top half of the 7th inning. And State trying to extend this lead and make it tougher on the visiting team from Fayetteville. Des Rivera going to stand in. She's 1 for 1 today, a double in the second. Also reached on a hit by pitch and a big hack at that one for strike 1, a swing and a miss. Count 0-1.
Our very own Chino at the plate. That's what I'm going to call her for the rest of the season, old Chino.
I don't know Chino. It just from Chino, California. We've gotten obsessed with the Chino, California lore here this evening. 1-1 now to Rivera, but played a couple. Played at Oregon State, played at Iowa. Out here with Mississippi State, having a good game in this one. And this one fouled down the left field line. A count now 1-2. But being really solid in this ball game so far. Played well behind the plate today too, and has played well behind the plate all year for Mississippi State. And that's kind of why State is kind of stuck with her behind the plate, and then you can kind of put Anna Carter, who's played catcher all her career, and maybe moving her kind of that designated player role. This one a grounder over to second. Couple of hops to it, but Davison has no problem with it. Throw it to first in time. 4-3 put out, and 1 gone here in the home half of the 6th for the maroon and white. And Mississippi State going to have now Kinley Keller up with 1 gone, as I mentioned.
Yeah, and she's yet to get on base today. Love for her to make something happen.
She has got on base, I will say. You're good. It reached on a walk back in the second. That feels so long ago, but the game has moved fairly quick. I mean, started around 5:02 as the first pitch to her, a strike, and 0-1 misses low and inside for ball 1. It evens the count up. But again, started at 5:02 p.m. Central Time here in Starkville. 6:45 p.m. Central Time now. So, I mean, a little over, an hour and a half?
It would
really over an hour, 40 minutes. And,
if it was baseball, we'd only be in the second inning.
Yeah, I mean, we've been moving here, and again, that's just the product of a pitcher's duel and the product of great defense. 2-1 now to Keller, looking for her first hit of the ball game. Like I said, did reach back in the second on a walk. This one, just catches the outer half, and the count evens at 2-2. Razorbacks. Next half inning, we'll have 6, 7, and 8 due up. Rio, Del Duca, and Miller. We'll see if they stay with Del Duca, who's come in as a defensive replacement. And Keller swings over the top of that one for strike 3, and 2 gone quickly here in the 6th for Mississippi State. State will stick with Gabby Schaefer, and she'll swing once again here in the 6th. Had a plate appearance in the 4th, grounded out to the shortstop in Rio. So we'll try and get on here with 2 outs for State. This one a little high there for ball 1.
As good as your defense has been this game, not putting any more runs on your run total, you don't have that big of a cushion, but hopefully that's enough. Hopefully 1's enough, and I've been talking about how it could be all game.
Sure do hope so. Schaefer trying her best to give State a chance here with 2 outs to score a run. 2-0 count on her. And this one a grounder over to third. McDowell up with it, throw to first in time. Arkansas with some great momentum as we send it to the 7th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Bulldogs retired in order for only the 2nd time today, and State will take a 1-0 lead into the top half of the 7th inning, trying to win that elusive Game 1. Have not been able to do that so far in SEC play this season, and looking to do that tonight and have a chance to go win the series tomorrow in Game 2. 1-0 our score as we head to the top of the 7th inning. State 3 outs away from a Game 1 win over the number 8 Razorbacks of Arkansas. I'm Ty Goldman alongside Connor Davis. This is Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network. I'm Ty Goldman alongside Connor Davis here in Starkville. Bulldogs 3 outs away from a Game 1 win. Would be their first Game 1 win in SEC play so far, and now in their 5th series. They got 3 outs to get those. 6, 7, 8 due up for Arkansas, and Peja Gould back out trying to go have another complete game and another complete game shutout. Natalia Rio will stand in to start things. This one, slow grounder over to short. Styles up with it, throw to first in time. There's one gone. State 2 outs away.
2 outs away to kind of get that elusive Game 1 we've talked about, and hopefully we can get it. I can go down there. Coach Ricketts will be in a good mood, and I can be like, hey, how's it feel to finally get that Game 1 out the way and to kind of go into this rest of the series. To have a series win against Arkansas would be big for Mississippi State.
Kaylee Wyckoff going to check back in, and she'll send one into left center, and ranging over is Bernardini, and a quick 2 outs here for Mississippi State. 6 and 7 hitters retired, and here comes the 8 hitter in Kennedy Miller. Arkansas down to their last out. Bulldogs trying to win Game 1, 1-0.
You feel that, Ty?
Feeling something. Hopefully feeling a win.
My blood pressure's rising. That's what I'm feeling.
Tense moments here. All-speed pitch in there for strike 1. Gould again looking for another complete game shutout. It's just been dominant in SEC play in the last couple of weeks. This one misses outside. Count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. Look at this season, too. She's had 7 shutouts coming into this one. That's 3rd most in the nation, 1st in the SEC, and obviously 1st on this staff. Here's the 1-1. Misses outside now. 2 balls and 1 strike. Miller has reached today 0 for 1, a hit by pitch back in the 3rd. The 2-1. Hard grounder over to 3rd, and it was caught on a line. Nadia Barbary with the grab, and Mississippi State able to win that elusive Game 1, 1-0. 1 was enough. We talked about it all ball game, Connor, where 1 run might be the difference, and it's a big win for Mississippi State. They defeat number 8 Arkansas in Game 1, 1-0. Another complete game shutout for Peja Gould, her 8th shutout in total of the season, and Mississippi State wins over Arkansas 1-0. Connor, you can wrap this one in maroon and
I was
white.
waiting for you to say it, but now I'm going to go down there and see what Coach Ricketts has to say about this Game 1. She got out the way, and man, doesn't it feel so good when you can win a game in a big series like this, and then go into the next game and kind of say, look, we win this game, the series is over, and now we have a big series win against Arkansas. I'm not putting anything out there because I don't want to put a standard out there we haven't reached yet, but I'm just saying it feels so good when you get this win. It feels so good up there, and hopefully coach, staff, players are feeling good down there.
A dominant pitching performance for Mississippi State. Defense backed up Peja Gould, and the offense just was able to have enough runners on to force some trouble. Mississippi State wins 1-0 over Arkansas in Game 1. Game 2 tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Time here in Starkville. We'll be back and have that one on the call for you. Connor going to go down and grab a post-game interview from our head coach in Samantha Ricketts, and he'll be back in just a moment as we'll get that post-game interview set for you. I'll be back in just a moment to start the post-game show, and then we'll get Connor's interview wrapped up, and we'll get everything handled for you, and we'll have a good post-game show here, and an even better one because Mississippi State is victorious here as the Bulldogs make the lap around center field, and got some fans out there, and just a big win for Mississippi State. Feels so good to win that Game 1, and an opportunity to win Game 2 tomorrow. Mississippi State wins 1-0 in Game 1 over Arkansas, 1-0. A big shutout performance from Peja Gould, and the Bulldogs able to just add one run, and it was the difference. Be back in just a moment for the start of our post-game show here on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. Again, Connor Davis going to go down and grab an interview from our head coach in Samantha Ricketts, and we'll have that for you as well on our post-game show. Bulldogs victorious, 1-0. They win in Game 1. Back in just a moment. I'm Ty Goldman alongside Connor Davis, and this has been Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Everything is just a little easier when you feel at home. At Cadence Bank, we're proud to be part of your home team, and we never stop working to give you a competitive advantage. Stop by a branch or visit us online at cadencebank.com to learn more about how we're helping opportunity take shape for our community.
There's a hit out to left field. This one is gone.
Cadence Bank, a proud sponsor of Mississippi State Athletics. Equal opportunity lender, member FDIC.
I'm Jake Mangum. A great team knows how to gel and only gets better over time. Kind of like auto insurance for Farm Bureau Insurance. Over the last 12 months, auto rates have had 2 reductions. And after February 15th, 2026, members will see another reduction of 5%. If you aren't already on the team, there's no better time to join Farm Bureau. Visit msfbins.com to find great new rates on auto insurance, or contact your local agent to get more details on how you can save. Go with the home team, go with Farm Bureau.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C-Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you turn your backyard into your personal movie theater.
Start movie night.
Own your day on the network for connected living. There's more to see. C-Spire. Customer inspired.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
There's team pride, and then there's extra Bulldog pride. When I'm carrying the Mississippi State University Regions Visa debit card or prepaid Regions Now card, that's exactly what I get. Whether I'm grabbing some extra state gear or picking up an extra dozen wings for the game, this card always brings it. Sometimes I get an extra Hail State from the cashier too. Visit Regions.com/Go State to get yours.
Extra changes everything. And at Regions, Extra is our ordinary. Official bank of the SEC, member FDIC.
Hey fans, I know you'd do anything for a win on game day and an ice-cold Bud Light. Because whether you're tailgating in the parking lot or parked on the couch, sitting on your lucky stool at the bar, or standing in the fan section all game long, the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light turns a win into a win-win. And there's nothing easier to enjoy than that. Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in the farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With
With C Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C Spire. Customer inspired.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network on Learfield, and welcome into our post-game show, and a happy one at that. Mississippi State finally finding that Game 1 win, and they win 1-0 over Arkansas. Big win for Mississippi State, and they push Arkansas to their limit in this one and able to win the ball game and a chance to go win the series tomorrow. With the win, Mississippi State moves to 34-9 and 6-7 in Southeastern Conference play. Arkansas 33-6 with a loss, 8-5 in Southeastern Conference play. Final line score for Arkansas: they didn't score a run of the ball game, so none to tell you about. And when they scored, to tell you, they don't have to tell you about that. 2 hits for them in the ball game, no errors, and they left 5 Razorbacks on base. For Mississippi State, they scored their lone run of the ball game in the 5th off of a pass ball. It was 1 run on 5 hits, 1 error, and the Bulldogs left 8 on base. So there's your final line score. Winning pitcher in the ball game, Peja Gould, and the losing pitcher is Robin Herron. No save recorded. It was Peja Gould who went the complete game. Another shutout for her 8th. Coming into it, mentioned this before the end of the ball game, but was had 7 shutouts coming into this ball game, which was 3rd most in the nation, 1st most in the Southeastern Conference, and obviously on the MSU Ball Club, and adds to that total there as shutout number 8. 7 innings pitched, 2 hits given up, no earned runs, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, faced 26 total batters through 84 pitches, so was incredibly efficient in this ball game as well. 84 pitches through 7 innings is pretty solid ball game, and obviously not to mention the complete game shutout, but I mean that's just really, really efficient. And so she is the winning pitcher. Another win for her. With the win, she moves to 14-6 on the year, and that ERA that came in to this ball game at 1.42 is dropped 14 points. Or 0.14, I should say, to be more specific. It's at 1.26. The losing pitcher falling now to 11-3 is Robin Herron, coming off that SEC Pitcher of the Week performance. She had a great performance tonight, but just couldn't get a win, is because Peja Gould had a much better performance in the ball game. But Herron went 4 1/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 1 run. It was not earned as it was scored on a pass ball. 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, faced 22 total batters through 91 pitches in the ball game. So that was the losing pitcher. Like I said, Robin Herron, again, she falls to 11-3. And then you had Saylor Timmerman came in relief. No decision for her. Went 1 2/3 innings. Didn't give up a hit or a run. No walks as well. Was really efficient in her relief. Got 2 strikeouts. Had faced 5 Mississippi State batters through 23 total pitches. So impressive from her to be able to go to work there in relief and hold Mississippi State. But again, just Mississippi State's pitching and defense incredible in this one, and the Bulldogs win 1-0. We'll come back and talk a little bit more about what happened in this ball game. Connor Davis just got back up from the field here at News Park, and with getting an interview with Coach Samantha Ricketts. So we're going to get that prepared for you and let you hear that. Good 2 minutes and 17 seconds long. So, again, appreciate you, Connor, going down there. Appreciate also Coach Samantha Ricketts for wanting to interview with us, and appreciate that. Appreciate also Brian Ogden, our SID, for making that happen as well. Again, Mississippi State winners 1-0 over Arkansas. We'll talk more about it in just a moment. Going to get this interview prepared for you, and we'll have more of our post-game show. This is Mississippi State softball on the Bulldog Student Sports Network and Learfield.
Trey Willis, shortstop.
Marshall Jones, first baseman.
Alex Philbin, center fielder.
Hi, I'm Tim from C Spire. Am I in the right place?
It always pays to have the right players on your team. That's why C Spire gives you fiber-fast home internet, nationwide 5G wireless, and best-in-class business solutions, all backed by local 24/7 support. C Spire, customer inspired.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola. Ah, crisp and refreshing. That's a game changer. Yeah, that taste scores every time. And just like that, they're back at it. Passionate fans and an ice-cold Coca-Cola. Now that's a winning combo. No matter the team, no matter the sport, everyone knows fan work is thirsty work. Enjoy a Coca-Cola.
Jake Mangum here. When I'm at the plate, I'm always looking for an edge. So when I'm shopping for auto insurance, I'm always looking to save. That's why I'm going with Mississippi Farm Bureau Insurance to keep me covered. They're always finding ways to save you money, like a 7% discount when you sign up for paperless billing and documents. Go to msfbins.com and discover how much you can save on auto insurance, or find a local agent and get started today. Go with the home team. Go with Farm Bureau Insurance.
Bulldog fans, are you looking for the perfect weekend getaway? Look no further. Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Mississippi offers the experience of a lifetime. World-class entertainment, unique shopping, and the ultimate in fine dining. And if that's not enough, hit the links at the world-renowned Azaleas and Oaks courses at Dancing Rabbit Golf Club and complete your stay in luxurious relaxation at the spa. Your exhilarating weekend awaits only at Pearl River Resort, where you'll be at the center of it all. Must be 21 or older.
Ever imagine one company could transform how you live and work? With C Spire, you're connected with advanced technology that enhances everything you do. How you order your morning coffee.
Order my usual.
How you secure your company's data. Even how you implement AI to increase productivity.
And next quarter is looking even better.
Giving you the confidence and control to accelerate business growth. There's more to see. C Spire, customer inspired.
Southern Ag Services and Alliance Ag Risk Management have deep roots in farming communities of Mississippi and the Mid-South. Using crop insurance and research-based agronomy, our strategies will minimize your production risks and maximize your economic returns. Partnering with us ensures you'll get years of farming experience and local successes to help you make solid decisions. Alliance Ag Risk Management and Southern Ag Services, 662-268-8006.
Welcome back into the Bulldog Student Sports Network, and welcome back into our post-game show here at News Park in the press box. Mississippi State winners over Arkansas 1-0 in Game 1. They win Game 1 for the first time in now their 5th series in Southeastern Conference play, and a chance to go win the series tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Time. Talked with you a little bit about some of the line scores and the final pitching stats. We'll talk a little bit more after this interview about the rest of the ball game that we saw. Connor and I will chat with you, but Connor went down and got an interview with your Bulldog head coach in Samantha Ricketts, and here is Samantha Ricketts after the Mississippi State 1-0 win.
All right, post-game, Coach Ricketts, fantastic win against Arkansas. You got that Game 1 win on your belt for SEC Conference play. I don't know if you heard it, but I heard it up there. Cowbells are ringing. People were chanting. How does it feel?
Yes, just love the decision that the team made to come out. And we know every game, every series is a battle in this conference, and by any means necessary. And I thought they did a great job of making a decision to change the energy, change the momentum in the late innings, and find a way to score that run for Peja when she was pitching the way she did.
Yeah, speaking of Peja, every time she comes up on that mound, it feels like she opens the game and she closes the game. You have so much trust in her, but most importantly, that defense played fantastic today. We talked about that heavy hitting Arkansas offense. How was that defensive performance out there in Would you like to see that more throughout the series?
Yes, I mean, we know when any of our pitchers are on the mound, we've got a chance. And I think Peja just exudes confidence. They get a hit or a runner on, so what? She came right back and got the outs after that, which is exactly what we're hoping for. And the defense knows that they're going to step up and make the plays behind her because she's fighting her butt off for us every single pitch.
Now, is there anything you looked at offensively this game and you're like, maybe we should tweak it? We had a lot of kind of substitutions going into especially the end of the batting order. Is there anything you'd like to tweak for the next couple games of the series?
I mean, really, we're going to try and get a lot of different players in situations that we think they can be successful. So it was more a matchup with the rise ball, drop balls where we're making some subs and then trying to get some late inning defense in so that we give Peja the best chance after we scored that run. But I think, continuing to make adjustments, knowing that their pitchers do a really good job of spinning the ball as well, and that we're going to have to continue to compete and swing within the game plan.
So you played fantastic today. You come back tomorrow, face the same team. Of course, it's how a series works. What's going to be the message going into that game?
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow's a special day for us. It's all for Alex. It's everyone rallying around Alex Wilcox and the fight against ovarian cancer. So I think for us, it just means more, frankly, tomorrow, and also being Alumni Day. So just really taking it in, and I think it's going to be a good reminder for us that it's bigger than softball. This is something we get to do, and we get to enjoy and go out there and compete with their friends. And we just want to go out there and represent for Alex and for all those as best we can.
Played great today, Coach. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hail State.
That was your Bulldog head coach with Connor Davis of the Bulldog Student Sports Network. Very excited about the win, and a big win at that. Mississippi State wins 1-0 over Arkansas. I mean, you talked to her, Connor. I mean, you were down there with her. She seemed extremely elated, and why not after such a big win? I mean, you take these wins any way you can get them in the Southeastern Conference. You're able to get a 1-0 win today, second 1-0 win here at home this season. It's just again a dominant pitching and the defense continuing to support behind that. It's not like it's not like Gould had a lot of strikeouts tonight, but she continued to work, and the defense continued to work with the runners on. She continued to work with runners on. Never, became full of fear, and it contributed to an outstanding outing tonight.
Yeah, and I talked about it at the beginning of the game. Strikeouts were going to be something that was going to be hard to come by during this game, even with as good of a pitching staff Mississippi State has. It's funny because I go up to Coach Ricketts before the interview, and before we kind of get everything started, she's like, look, I don't care how that pitch looked at the very end of the game, the last one that was kind of the last line drive out. She said, I don't care how that pitch looked, as long as it looked, we just won, and that's all that matters. And I think, yeah, you got to take them when you can. Even a 1-0 run game is something that's to be proud of. It's a number 8th ranked Arkansas team, so you got to take them where you can get them. She was excited, like you said, elated about this victory, and so was I. I mean, you could really feel the fans out here really giving it to Arkansas and really happy to be here because, look, you win here, you can win tomorrow. You got a top 10 ranked series under your belt in conference play. This is a team that can compete and has shown throughout the season that this is a really competitive Mississippi State program. And for the past couple of seasons, that's really been Coach Ricketts' identity, is competitive. This is a team that's going to show up, show in, show out every single conference series they play, and hopefully give a tough battle. You talked about how proud she was about the battle and the fight and continuing that fight that this Mississippi State team has been doing. So hopefully throughout the season we continue that fight and give Arkansas a run for their money tomorrow, hopefully win this series.
Well, you give Arkansas a lot of credit today, and obviously that you knew coming in they were going to be tough to handle. And again, Robin Herron deserves a lot of the credit. A fantastic outing from her tonight, and just for Arkansas and for her and for maybe if there's any Arkansas faithful listening, a shame that she couldn't have such a good she couldn't get the win there. But again, you look at Mississippi State on the other side, on the flip side of that. Well, there's been, Gould has been in that situation. Faircloth has been in that situation all year here in SEC play, where they've been in that same exact spot that Robin Herron has been. And tonight, State was on the flip side of that, and it just, I know it feels so good to that coaching staff, that roster, that entire dugout in there in the facility, that locker room. I know they feel elated the way we do. We're excited about this. Saw it with the fans as well here, very excited. Everybody in great spirits, and they should be. A big win for Mississippi State. Again, finally able to get that game won, and so huge for the Bulldogs. Again, 5 hits for State tonight. It struggled with runners in scoring position and runners on, but both teams did, and Mississippi State just won the battle in terms of pitching and defense, and were able to find a way to score a run at the end of things. But again, I thought State's approach was nice, and I thought they made good contact on a lot of balls. You just got really unlucky. I think they did that last weekend too, and just kind of hit some balls on the screws last weekend. Just kind of got in a bind last weekend, where Florida, we talked about Florida didn't make any errors last weekend, and so kind of got in a bind with that right there. And I think he kind of did that today. Arkansas made some good plays out in the field. They didn't make an error, and we saw how quality and how solid their defense can be. So I thought State's approach was solid today. Obviously, you want to improve with runners on, runners in scoring position. But again, when you're pitching like this, it helps a lot. But obviously, the improvement that you want is that runners in scoring position mark. But again, with approaches the way I think I saw them today, and I don't know how you feel about them, but I thought State had the right mindset when they got in the batter's box.
Well, that's true, but as you held an Arkansas team that's known for the batter's box to 2 hits today. Defensively, you played outstanding. This is what you want to see in a defensive performance for Mississippi State. But that's why you look offensively and where her mindset was is look, at the end of the batting order, she was making a lot of substitutions. Look at it right here. Well, not for Bernardini, but she had Tatum Silva play defensively. But Bernardini got subbed out for Tatum Silva on defense. But you look at Kinley Keller came in for Zion Romero.
Oh, no, you had Schaefer come in for Zion Romero.
Yeah, excuse me. Schaefer came in for Zion Romero.
Schaefer there. I mean, you had, I believe, I think that's probably the only change you made, but you did make some different changes around. So, and also, too, I kind of get to your point, is not as many defensive or offensive, changes, pinch hitter type stuff. Obviously, you get the pinch runners. We do that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of get your point there, is it kind of looked at times a little unconventional, because you had, State in those middle innings there was trying to lay down sacrifice bunts, trying to just get a runner across, kind of understanding the kind of ball game they were in. Don't know if you see that tomorrow. Obviously, it could be it's a brand new ball game tomorrow. You never know. But State tried their best to adjust to the situation at hand. Couldn't get any of those bunts really to lay down. But again, it's you notice that they were trying to adjust to what the ball game was doing.
Yeah, and all you needed was one run, right? That was the name of the game. And I harped on it a couple times throughout the game. I was like, look, one run may be very well all you need to win this ball game. And what makes teams so great, especially in conference play and when we get into these tough matchups, is contrast, Ty. If you can have that gap between pitching staffs or hitting, and you can say, look, this is how much better we are defensively. This is how much better we are offensively over an 8th-ranked Arkansas team. That's when you can say, look, Mississippi State is a good softball program, and we've seen it all year, but that contrast really identifies how good a softball team can be. And when you have that throughout the game, it's like, man, this is a team that's going to be competing for a lot when it comes postseason, hopefully host something here, and maybe you could see Mississippi State play for something they haven't played for before. And as I see right now, that could very well be a possibility, as good as the defense just played today.
Yeah, maybe a first berth in Oklahoma City in the Women's College World Series. It's a team that sure can do it, and we've seen that time and time again this season. Obviously, a lot of ball left to play, but again, it's just State proven to be versatile in different series. You have the big offensive game in Game 2 last weekend against Florida. And finally getting that offense out of what seemed to be just a big crater, and then battling offensively in Game 3 last week, and then this one come back and just you win a pitcher's duel 1-0 and score any way you can, score on a pass ball. State just proving to continue to be versatile. Excuse me, I was trying to find the word there, but just impressive. An impressive win from State. Again, she was talking about. Really, was just impressed with what the mindset was coming out of the locker room today, and then coming out of the dugout onto the field. She was really, it seemed like, really elated with how. I feel like I've used elated so much in this post-game show, but I mean, it's just kind of how she felt. I mean, just really happy with the way that with the way that her team came out and just kind of had that, we want to win this ball game attitude. I mean, really put the fight to Arkansas today, and they came out on the right side of things. So big win for State. You look at some offensive. The offensive output for the Bulldogs had 5 total hits in the ball game. No player with multi-hits, but you had a couple with you had 5, obviously, with a hit each. Morgan Stiles had 1, Anna Carter had 1, Nadia Barbary had 1, Morgan Bernardini had 1, and Des Rivera had 1 as well. A couple Bulldogs reached twice in the ball game. That was Des Rivera, who reached on a hit by pitch, and as well as that double that she had. And then you also had, I'm trying to look here, that might be the only one. Maybe I'm miscalculating. Yeah, I think just you had only the one that reached base that 2 times, and then you had a couple of players that reached on walks in the ball game. Paige Ernst reached on a walk. Kiara Sells reached on a walk. So getting on any way you can or any way you could in this ball game, and that's what Mississippi State did today. So big win for the Bulldogs. Again, they win 1-0 over Arkansas. Real quick, last thoughts on the ball game, and then what are you personally looking for tomorrow in terms of what you want to see Mississippi State do tomorrow and try and go win game 2 and win the series?
I think when you go through these games and in conference play, you have to really figure out how can I get better from game to game, because ultimately when you get in the postseason, that's going to be what all that matters is how have you improved from this period to this period and got to the end of the train track and said, hey, now it's time to play, because that's what matters most, right? When you get in postseason, see how long you can go. Today, defense, fantastic. I mean, I talked to her, told her, like, look, this Arkansas team, and she knew it, right, going in that interview. She knew how good of a hitting team this Arkansas team was going to be. To have that motto to go in here and say, look, this is how the defense is going to perform. They performed so flawlessly. I mean, I could clap for how impressive that defensive performance was. Only thing that goes into the next game, and this is probably the talking point for most everybody when it comes to this softball program and what we just witnessed today, is offensively, you got to smooth things out. Like, a lot of runners left on base today. You got to get them home. I mean, you had several hits, 5 hits. You had several runners left on base, and you only have 1 run to show for it. So I would love for kind of the runs to go up if you're going to have that offensive output. Kind of say, hey, we've got to get the runs where they should be if we're going to put that out on the field offensively. So that's the only thing I can say is offensively, you got to smooth it out because, like she said, it's difficult in this conference no matter who you play. So Arkansas's just another drop in the bucket for a team that you're going to play later on. We have LSU in Starkville still, and, Ole Miss and Oxford.
Got to go on the road to Oxford and also A&M too.
A&M, and then you have these performances where you're like, hey, this is how we play good defensively. How can I improve offensively? If I have defense down, how do I get the other one down pat as well? And I obviously that's probably been the mindset throughout this whole season, but offensively, gotta get better.
Yeah, got to. It's been something that State struggled with this season is just runners in scoring position. Would love to see that early approach in counts that Mississippi State had today, an early approach in innings transition to when Mississippi State has runners on base. But I tell you what, Bulldogs, found every which way in this one to find a way to win the ball game, and they did it on the only run scored in the ball game on a passed ball. So hope Bulldogs can hit a little bit better. And obviously, too, never know when this Arkansas offense could catch fire in this series, and maybe see another great pitching performance tomorrow. You're going to see Alyssa Faircloth start tomorrow, so another dominant pitcher, one of the best in all of college softball. So looking forward to see that tomorrow, but also looking forward to Mississippi State having a chance to win the series after Game 1. First time they've had that opportunity all season. So Mississippi State winners 1-0 in Game 1 over Arkansas. They win a big one, and Paige Gould with a complete game shutout. Again, Bulldogs with a win move to 34-9 and 6-7 in SEC play. Arkansas 33-6 and 8-5 in SEC play with the loss. Let's check out some scores from around the conference real quick. Refresh the old computer here and take a look. Florida's gone final in Columbia. They shut out South Carolina in 7 innings. They win 5-0 over the Gamecocks. So that's the you got another final as well. Georgia with a 8-0 run rule over Missouri, and then obviously State with a 1-0 win here in Starkville. You look at a couple of the ball games that are live. Number 4 Texas and number 2 Oklahoma doing battle in Austin in the going to the top of the 4th inning. Oklahoma on the road with a 2-0 lead over the Longhorns. The Longhorns defending national champions. Texas A&M all over Ole Miss right now in Oxford. They lead in the bottom of the 3rd 9-3. You got the softball Iron Bowl going on right now, bottom half of the 5th inning in Auburn, Alabama with a narrow 1-0 lead. Crimson Tide number 3 in the country. Auburn struggling this year, but Tigers providing a little bit of spark in that ball game. And then you have one more ball game, not an SEC contest. I was looking at the A and got confused there. My apologies. LSU taking on Arizona in Baton Rouge in an out-of-conference, middle of conference play, out-of-conference 3-game set. And the Fighting Tigers lead 3-1 as the ball game in the top of the 5th there in Baton Rouge. So there's some scores around the Southeastern Conference. You got looking over, 200. How many yards do you think that is behind us to Dudy Noble Field?
It's got to be more than 200.
Yeah, I think 200's a bad
It's at
guess.
least 2 football fields over there.
2 football, yeah.
Oh, at least. That's what I'm
think
saying.
so.
Maybe 300-400 yards.
So
over
just,
there.
A hop, skip, and a jump away behind us, Dudy Noble Field. Diamond Dogs in the bottom half of the 5th inning, trailing Tennessee 3-2. They came into the bottom of the 5th, trailing 3-1. Reed Stallman with a home run down the right field line to start the inning for Mississippi State. So the Bulldogs cut the lead to 1. Again, 3-2 are the score over there behind us at Dudy Noble Field. So State and Tennessee in a 3-game set. First game of 3 tonight, and hopefully the Bulldogs can take game 1 just like State softball did here in game 1. And might find myself going over to watch the end of that ball game. We'll see how that. See if
Possibly.
Connor wants to tag along.
You want to get some binoculars and just call the game from right here?
Yeah, well, I don't. It'd be kind of tough to do that. I don't know if we could see over the old loss in left field, but anyway, so hopefully Mississippi State baseball can get that taken care of. You get a big weekend on campus too. Like we said, you still got this two games left with State and Arkansas. You got this game and then 2 games left with State and Tennessee. Spring football tomorrow at I think at 9:15 in the morning. So I don't know that I'll necessarily be there, but 9:15 in the morning. Spring football at Davis Wade Stadium, a little event going on there. They'll have a scrimmage and then, have a little, signings, autographs and type stuff event there in Davis Wade Stadium. So if you're listening close to Starkville, want to make the trip, and obviously it's a great weekend to be here, a lot of action in Starkville. Come Starkville, watch the spring game, and it kind of a spring game. And tell you what, you want to hear some breaking news? State's just going back-to-back. Kevin Malewski with a home run to center. Bulldogs tied the ball game at 3. So we got the headsets on, but I can imagine what Dudy Noble Field's doing right now.
I'm telling you, it'd be nice to call the game right now. We'd be flipping out.
I could call it from the stat broadcast if you want me to. That's what I'm looking at right now. But a big Malewski with a home run. So State goes back-to-back in the 5th and tie the ball game at 3. So get on over there if you're anywhere. I mean, I think I'm about to do that. But get on over there for baseball this weekend. You can go tomorrow. You got softball at 2, and you got baseball at 6. Those times in Central Time. So you go softball to baseball tomorrow. So there's your plan. You go spring football in the morning, softball, and then baseball. And it'll be fantastic. It'll be a fantastic evening. And then you got also, too, tennis playing this weekend, I believe, here in Starkville against Alabama. That's men's tennis. So solid ball or solid team in our men's tennis squad. So big weekend here in Starkville. Well, the Bulldogs start the series off right here in softball at News Park with a 1-0 win over Arkansas. Going to wrap it up here. We want to remind you to follow us. And also, before I say that, I want to always say thanks to Learfield for giving us the opportunity to do this. Thank you to our SID for softball, Brian Ogden. Thank you to Neil Price, who's calling the ball game over there at Dudy Noble Field right now for Mississippi State baseball on Learfield. So, again, thank you to Neil Price for helping us. Chris Mission, our communication sponsor. Always a treat to be able to do this. Everybody involved with Learfield, having the faith in us to be able to do this. Appreciate that very, very much. So I'll remind you again, we have our stream tomorrow on hailstate.com and the Hail State app, but also on YouTube on the Bulldog Student Sports Network. You can subscribe to us there. Watch it either way, whatever way you want to, or listen to it either way. Just listen to Mississippi State softball tomorrow as they try to take the series. And then you can follow us on X at BSSN_MSU. And then on Instagram at Bulldog Student Sports Network. Any final words from you, Connor, and then we'll take this one home.
Only thing I think to say is you can wrap it in maroon and white, Ty.
You can wrap this one in maroon and white. Mississippi State 1, Arkansas 0. Peja Gould with a complete game shutout, and the Bulldogs win Game 1, a chance to win the series tomorrow in Game 2. We'll have Game 2 tomorrow for you with pregame starting at 1:45 p.m. Central Time here at News Park on the Bulldog Student Sports Network on YouTube, as well as on hailstate.com and the Hail State app. Appreciate y'all tuning in tonight and appreciate y'all listening to a Mississippi State win. Everybody take care. Have a great rest of your night, and Hail State.
From Learfield, you've been listening to Mississippi State Softball on the Bulldog Sports Network. Mississippi State Softball has been sponsored by C Spire, customer inspired. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Bulldog Sports Network.